What's up? And welcome, Dreadlock Pocket, aka Big Brain. What I mean? And today, hope to entertain. Welcome one, welcome all, wherever you are, whenever you are. As usual, I hope you're doing fine, fantastic, swell, muy bien, clavion, bonjour, konnichiwa. You know, I hope you're doing your thug fizzle wherever you lay your hizzle. And if you're not, somebody hitting you with them negative vibes or that negative energy, you know, take a moment, recognize it for what it is, right? Energy, try to tap into it, reverse the flow, hit that Uno reverse card, use it in your favor, you know, plant a seed, you know, and see what'll grow out of it, help somebody out. But at the end of the day, they feeling you, right? It's energy. And yeah, tell y'all like a denial is a weapon of the master. The only question is, what's your level of mastery? So, without any further ado, man, let's get into it, man. We got a nice little TwabsDay today. Hopefully, the patch yesterday was not patch. The post yesterday was pretty juicy with the exotic changes. They did a nice little sweeping change. You know, I would have to go back and look at last season's changes, but all in all, I feel like this one's a more solid batch, and I'm very interested to see what kind of builds come out. Curious too, since today is the TwabsDay, right? You know, the closer we get to the new season, the more Bungie likes to reveal. But I'm curious today if the Twab today will have any like artifact mods or perks. You know how to give us the list of them, and if so, that'll just help us build craft even more. But hey, yo, I know y'all seen that with the Iceball mentals, right? Y'all already know we about to hit that up. But yeah, a lot of nice little changes overall. So of course, as usual, I'm probably gonna do my rant little thing. We're going to pick up on the procrastination level a little bit. I need to get my Bright Dust bounties done. I need to get a couple of other little seasonal things done before we run out of time. And yeah, just want to chit-chat with y'all, enjoy the vibes, and maybe come up with some ideas, maybe shoot some ideas with y'all, maybe get some ideas from y'all, you know, share some, get some, you know. And yeah, let's get into it. Before we really start off, though, I did notice that right as I was getting on, Bungie did hit us with a little update, right, regarding Commander Zavala, so I'd like to read that real quick. So it's on the little Bungie app or the Bungie webpage. So I figured we'd go over that, and that'd be the perfect vibe to start off with the Titan today. So it reads off. I guess I could read it in my. I'll try my best to do my Zavala impression. It says, "Thank you, Commander. The future of Zavala's journey. Earlier this year, we lost Lance Reddick, the English language voice actor for Commander Zavala. The passion and professionalism Lance brought to the role over the last decade was unmistakable and loved by all. Lance's iconic voice led us through the most intense moments in Destiny's history, and his impact on our Guardians, our community, and Bungie as a whole will never be forgotten. Commander Zavala has been central to the story we have been telling since the original Destiny, and we have plans to continue his journey. Keith David, a prolific actor on the stage and in television, film, and games, will assume the English language voice of Zavala in the final shape and beyond. Separately, Lance's existing lines in-game will remain untouched for the upcoming releases." So that's what's up. We'll go over it after I finish the whole thing. On becoming the new Vanguard leader, Keith said, "I am honored to continue the great work of Lance Reddick as Zavala. Lance captured the character's sense of integrity so wonderfully. It is my intention to continue that work. Bungie is honored to continue the relationship that began with Keith during the days of Halo, and the team is excited for what he brings to the role of the commander. We will always remain respectful to the role that Zavala has played thus far, and look forward to the journey ahead." So, yeah, man. As it's stated in there, looks like Keith David is gonna take up the role of the commander. In that, if you read between the lines, it looks like they still have more for Zavala's role, so there's a lot to get from that as a whole. Yeah, man, really love Lance Reddick as just overall as a figure, as a personality, everything he was in, man. The iconic voice, like I remember my first. Everybody knows whether we wanted it or not. Like that's the whole reason I enjoy doing the whole Zavala voices, because of how impactful that was to me. So it's like, man, yeah, put that on tenfold. And they said that so wonderfully, how much his impact as a whole did for the community. You know, like out of all the things that change in Destiny, right? I'm pretty sure we all can agree that Zavala was the stoic, you know, like the figurehead. He was the beacon. He was the static pillar that everybody could turn to no matter what in any era of Destiny. And yeah, Lance just captured that so wonderfully, man. But the beautiful thing about that is like his mantle is going to be passed on. Um, I'm pretty sure Keith David will do an amazing job. And for those who don't know, if you played Modern Warfare 2, he's the one that would I believe it was Sergeant Foley. He was the one that was shouting, Ramirez, switching to your pistol is always quicker than switching to your switching to your sidearm is always quicker than reloading. He's that guy. So like, yeah, I'm very excited to see what he does with the role, but also within that too, Bungie is going to be able to keep the vision that they have for the character of Zavala as a whole. So yeah, man, pay your respects to Lance Reddick if you got time, and yeah, looking forward to what comes next, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's I guess we'll go ahead and slap into it. I know y'all like, dang, Dre, you be everywhere. You damn right. You damn right, man. If I wasn't me, yo, I couldn't do this. I'm telling you, I really couldn't. But yeah, we're gonna kick it off today. I guess we're gonna start off with the seasonal bright dust bounties. You know how I am when it comes down to knocking out my bright dust. We'll go ahead and knock out these couple of activities. Chop the jazz with you guys, come up with a couple of ideas, give you guys a rundown in my head what I got going on for my thought process with the builds after I heard the changes, and then hopefully we get a juicy twab to share with each other, and yeah, we'll pretty much go from there. I'm super close on my I think I only got one more left to do, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I got one more left to do. I can't remember exactly what I was gonna do, but I got options, right? I got, you know, I can do the GM, which we probably won't do to be honest. But I could either go do the lazy one on Nessus, or I could do like a Legend Lost Sector. So we'll figure something out. But I wanted to get my last Bright Dust collection up. So hopefully they drop an armor set next season for the just the average Guardians, right? Like, you know, this season they had the Sony edition, and they're not selling that for silver. I mean, Bright Dust, they're only selling it for silver. But I do wonder if at a way future season they will be selling these sets, you know. The curious thing though, I will say, is that this shader, right? This shader, apparently, I didn't even know this, but this shader was locked behind silver purchase. And obviously it's available now for us to be able to buy. So that gives me good hope for like this pack right here, right? You know, as someone who doesn't
looking for something in particular,
spend they doubloons on anything except for the actual like annual pass, right? And the yearly expansion, right? Like, you know, if you want to spend your money on the Bright Dust store, that's cool in my mind. Like if you're spending it for silver, right? Because at the end of the day, I think the overall proceeds help Bungie keep the lights on, and if they doing good, then overall the content will be better in general, right? It's just less strain overall, and I don't think the way they implement it is as egregious as other games, because at the end of the day, right, like this one is available for Bright Dust, and it came out this season, but they also tend to keep some coveted for like a season or two, and then they also seem to roll out over time in the Bright Dust store. So if you're kind of patient, and if you end up playing the game a lot and you diligent on your Bright Dust bounties, you can actually kind of, you know, finesse your way and get the actual items or the ornaments if you're patient enough over time. That part I like, because it's a system to where like if you play the game and you actually do your dailies or weeklies, no matter how annoying they are, you can actually get the ornaments from the store, right? Instead of just being locked strictly to silver, right? I think it could be a little bit worse. It's not the best, but at the same token, I think that the way that we farm Bright Dust could be better overall, quality of life wise, for sure. The adjustments on that end, man, either give us more Bright Dust per bounty, or let us be able to hold more bounties. That way I don't feel locked in a session, right? Because as it is right now, you know, you can only do 5 Bright Dust bounties per activity, You know, you can either do Zavala's 5, you can either do Crucible's 5, or you can do Gambit's 5. There's no way you can run an activity and get like all 15 of them done, which is the most annoying part, in my opinion, because an average activity is going to take you about what, 10 to 15 minutes, right? Like, say if I'm running strikes and I'm targeting Bright Dust bounties on strikes specifically, it's going to take me 10 to 15 minutes if I'm just fully completing the strike. And which brings me to my next point. It promotes like a quote unquote degenerate strategy, right? If I did want to min-max Bright Dust, I would just be grabbing bounties, load up a strike, do them, quit out. Grab bounties, load up, and do it. And I wouldn't mind doing that either, but the problem about that is I got to come back to the tower, or I got to wait in orbit every single time to pick up bounties. And yeah, I just think the way we get Bright Dust could be way better, whether it's the amount we get or how we get it. But yeah, the store overall, it's hit or miss. I think in this game it's passable, right? Because like I said, after a season or two, we can most likely that item will be up for sale for Bright Dust. I think the store could be better too if we could just target and buy whatever we wanted to for Bright Dust if it's up for sale. But I think it could be better and worse in some ways. I don't think it is the absolute worst. I will say also that they could throw us more bones when it comes to the ornaments, right? Because I think what players would love overall in general is that if some of these items had a chance to drop randomly from doing hard activities or challenges, you know, like how we had to do the Revision 0, right? You know, like that would be pretty awesome. The only like minor gripe I got about the Revision 0 is like it's 3 of the same camo essentially, but I like the sentiment and the idea, right? If it was more dynamic and changed a little bit, there would be nothing I could say at all. But you know, at the end of the day, I like that idea, right? Running the what was that, Operation Seraph Shield or whatever, and getting the ornament for Revision 0, that was a pretty cool incentive. And if they sprinkle more stuff like that in the game, I think that'd be on a better level as well. But I guess someone else could argue too that in a way, right? I'm trying to find a Revision 0 ornament, and obviously I can't find it, but it's because I'm looking in the wrong area. I was trying to demonstrate it while I was talking. Yeah, see, you got the prom with it got all the mini doohickeys, and then you got the version 1 where you know it just ain't got the top level up there, and then you got the alpha, right? So essentially they're the same one. I mean, technically they're different, but you know what I'm saying. Essentially, it doesn't change anything dramatic on it. But I think that if like there was a like 0.001% chance to drop from doing a lost sector or any hard in-game activity, right? You know, that would create a sense of elation in the community. But you could also argue too, right, that that does happen. It's just not as engaging or rewarding. And with the Eververse engrams. So the pro and cons about these, right? I'm all over the place with rants today already. Look at that. The pros and cons about these, right, is that I like the way they used to be before to a degree, because it used to be, I think I could be misremembering though, right? But I'm pretty sure it was on a knockout system to where it would only give you stuff that you legitimately did not have. But now it does seem to give you a lot of like fluff, right? But there is every once in a while where I do get something I don't have. So like essentially you still can like do, as I was saying, play the game, get an in-game engram, and then you can get something from the store. It's just not targeted, right? And it's like, it's so many instances of you getting trash that the store itself feels like trash, but those 1 or 2 times that you get an exotic emote or that you get an ornament that you was waiting for, it feels good, man. So like, I guess right now, since I'm talking about it, let's go ahead and pop all these, and I'm gonna switch to my other characters, and let's see how many engrams I get total. Before I do that, let me go ahead and deposit 10. But I don't know, I just like to look at things from a balanced perspective as much as I can, and unbiased as much as I can. Don't get me wrong, I be having my preferences, but every time I see something go off on either end, right, I do like to step back and look at it and be like, okay, what can we improve? What was good about it? What is bad about it, right? Because at the end of the day, if they adjust it, we will want them to make adjustments for the better sake versus negative sake. And yo, the Icefall mantles, woo, wait till I start ranting about them, yo. Look, let me go ahead and put y'all on something. Get your stasis weapons ready. Just get your stasis weapons ready up here, and get your stasis weapons ready down here. get that deliverance. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go pick it up in a second, but get that deliverance right and get your rapacious appetite. I already got some little juicy ideas, but yeah, let's go ahead and pop these real quick. I was thinking about. So let's see how what kind of good quality I get from popping 30 of these, or 30 plus. Y'all keep track. I'm not gonna count. That's on y'all. I'm not. Yeah, I ain't counting. Okay. Actually, let's go to test. Let's play it. Because I do have a little. I got a system in my mind where if I go to test and I pop them, I have better RNG. I know it's straight up placebo, but it's my placebo. All right. Boom. On the first go. Now, I will say, it's probably just because I'm talking about it, right? Like, it's probably just because I'm talking about it. But normally I get a trash ghost. And on that same note, before it used to be where when you would get an item from Eververse, right? When you dismantle it, it used to give you bright dust. They took that away. I can't remember exactly why or when that was. Maybe it was a different meta and it would have broke the economy. But I mean, if I'm getting it from the Bright Eververse store, at least give me some bright dust, right? Like, I think they can bring that part back. All right, there we go.
Our inventory is stocked. So
shit. Yeah, see, most of these, I'm pretty sure, obviously, I already got. All right, so that was all trash there. One emote off of that. Let's go ahead and just pop these here while I'm on this. I'm on the little boy. I figured I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, you know what? Let me do this in mass just to see what kind of RNG actually happens from popping all of these, right? All right, small gift of bright dust. I'll take that. Trash shell, trash ship, trash shell, trash sparrow, trash sparrow. You see all the fluff you get, right? There we go. So that's what, 20? That was 20 of them, and I got, I need to start deleting these ghosts real quick. 20 of them, and I only got one semi-decent item, all right? So you see how it's like some pros and cons, right? Because like at the end of the day, if you do play the game a lot, you do end up getting the bright dust engrams, right? And so if you do find an insane experience farm, you can technically just farm out Eververse engrams. And if it was on a complete knockout system, well, if you was an in-game player, then you would definitely have everything knocked out, which arguably is a good or bad thing, depending on who you are, right? Okay, so that was what, 22 so far? All right, so let's swap over to the hunter and then see how many we get from him.
Anything for you?
But yeah, I'm very interested to see what these changes are gonna be, man. Oh, and then the cool thing is that the what are they called, yeah? The strand subclasses are getting more aspects. I kind of wish that every subclass was getting more aspects. That way, like, the whole sandbox could hang, because, you know, it kind of feels tilted a little bit when one subclass gets a buff, you know, because then everybody's going to be using that because it's the new hotness. But at the same time, we can get a couple of exotics are getting changed. I'm really hyped for Renewal Grasp. That change on the Renewal Grasp, I'm thinking of running that with maybe something like the Navigator, actually. I was thinking that would be a pretty fun combo. All right, let's see how many we got.
Eververse has the goods.
Okay, so it's 8. So that'd be a clean 30, because that's 22. So that's 8. Perfect. All right.
Take as long as you like. I can wait.
See, almost the same exact ship, like. And the thing is, it would be different if either we could transmog our Sparrow, which I'm pretty sure something like that's coming, right? They announced some change to Sparrow speed, but okay, so we got 2 emotes. They announced some change to Sparrow speed, not Sparrow speed. They announced some change to the Sparrows, so I'm guessing that either we're going to be able to transmog them onto our always on time, or we'll be able to the speed will be upped on all of them to where they match always on time. So the Sparrows will have a little bit more value, but the ships are glorified loading screen, pretty much, you know. Like, yeah, that knockout system thing, I really think it should either knock it off better, or you know, it could be filtered. It could be upgraded for sure. But I don't think it's the good thing I think about it is that it's not pay to win on that end, right? Like the one instance I can think that the store was pay to win is like maybe if it changes the recoil, like Crimson, or if it gave it range back then. But even then, that wasn't like an intentional design, right? That was just like a flaw that slipped through the cracks. So I feel like as long as they keep it in the ornament section, that's cool, because the people that do, right, buy stuff from the store are either people that have that income to buy from the store or play the game enough to want to buy that from the store, right? And once you understand that, it comes out about a season or two after, and if you're patient enough, you know, you don't even have to really spend silver for it. But if you're that type of person that like to flex, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you got the bread to flex too, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why people buy nice things, you know? And at the end of the day, like I said, I think that filters that goes back to some other form of content, right? You know,
Step on up.
like I don't think there's to say that it doesn't go back into the game in some other form or fashion. To think that it goes directly back into the Eververse store, I don't think that's the full picture. I just don't. Yeah, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think at the same time that it filters back in that. So there you go. Mostly ghosts and ships. I got 2 exotic emotes out of almost 40 Eververse engrams right there. So you be the judge how the store is or how it functions. But you could imagine if you just popped them as soon as you got them, each after each one, right? Like how bad that felt, popping 40 back to back. But imagine getting them solo and popping them once as soon as you earn it, right? Imagine how that itself would feel. So it's just putting it all in perspective. All right, enough of my ranting on that, and let's go ahead and get some gameplay going. I know you're like, dang, Trent. Oh man. All right, so I guess we'll do the Tatin, and then I guess we'll do a couple of I guess we'll start with the strikes. What do we need for the bounties right here? Arc, finish, strand, final blows, melee, scout, shoddy, powerful, precision. All right, strand, final blows. I'm gonna put on the navigator. I think they said arc too, so we'll do navigator and that, and then we'll rant about the changes that are coming. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I want to go ahead and I was thinking about theory crafting and making some builds already, but without knowing what the artifacts are going to be, I'm kind of hesitant at the same time. I kind of want to just at least see if they're going to announce them this week, and before we start diving way too deep in it. But my mind already started jumbling on a couple of thoughts and stuff. I really didn't expect them to take the same route with Path of Burning Steps that they did with Icefall Mantles, but I think that's going to elevate these things to another level immediately. And I'll explain what I mean after a few. All right, I'm not going to change everything else. Let's go ahead and just run a few. So with the change that's coming to Icefall Mantles, really all of those that they mentioned for the Titan, right? You got that whole little batch. It was Icefall Mantles, it was Doomfang Pauldrons, Path to Burning Steps, and Eternal Warrior. And each one is going to have its respective elemental tier 4 buff. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't stack with armor charges, but I was thinking that maybe if you wanted to have like just really high uptime, you could spec into armor charges anyway, depending on what the artifact is, right? It might be cheap and it might be easy to spec into a certain element, or you could just go something else completely, which is pretty much what they're wanting. The cool thing was though, man, was like they said that each one is going to have like a so it's going to work kind of like Rampage, obviously, right? So you get a couple of kills, it's going to start stacking up, but each one is going to have its intrinsic way to activate the max stacks off rip. And so it was like Doomfang Parchment, it was like Void Melee Kill is going to activate it, the damage buff tier 4. Eternal Warrior, when you come out of your super, you're going to have it for 30 seconds. Path of Burning Steps, the grenade, and y'all know how I feel about grenades, so we're going to have to make a grenade build with Path of Burning Steps, you know what I'm saying? And then for Icefall Mantles, just, you know, pop in the class ability. Now, my question is, right, with that, is it gonna be a situation to where I can just pop my class ability and the stasis weapons get buffed on any class? And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the case, because I haven't even tested what's it called, Eternal Warrior yet, but I would imagine Risk Runner on any subclass does still get the initial buff. But I do remember that in the past when you had what's it called, when you had Path of Burning Steps, that did work on any subclass. You didn't have to be locked to solar. And so that's what I was talking about the other day with every time they add exotics that can function on Omni class, any subclass, that just opens the door on how many other builds and functions are possible. So that was a pretty cool addition. But my other question was going to be that since it activates, since you're going to be able to get the tier 4 buff on stasis just by activating the class ability, does the same thing apply when you deactivate it, right? And if that is the case, then man, that's gonna be pretty good, because then you can really have agency and control over how you're gonna use that buff. Because the main downside on Icefall Mantles, which is why I think a lot of people don't really mess with it, is because of when you activate it, right, you can't run. And so that's very unattractive for all of our playstyle, right? We love the whole space magic area playstyle in the game, right? You know, and when you pop Icefall Mantles, you telling me that I gotta walk like Gary the Snail, you know, like I can't run, I can't slide, you know, like, and so I think that turns a lot of people off when it comes to Icefall Mantles. But if you can still have that extra property of damage by deactivating it, that'll just mitigate that negative downside, right? And so very curious to see what that's going to be like on Icefall Mantles. And so you can take that logic and go through your vault, go through any of the websites, right, LightGG or D2 Foundry, and really just figure out what weapons that you like that already mess with stasis, and was going to be very effective off of that. I really was thinking that, of course, we got that new stasis rocket launcher this season, so that'll be a good one for the heavy slot. But another good one I was thinking maybe Rapacious Appetite with Target Lock, and Aegir Scepter, of course, the new scout rifle, which I still need to snag. There was another, Deliverance, because Deliverance can get bait and switch and demolitions. So that's going to be, I'm really going to have fun revisiting Nightfall Mantles. It's definitely a sweet spot, because I think so far today, to this date, that Icefall video I made, it had the most views so far on the channel. So definitely, you know, we gotta go back and pay homage, man. You know, we gotta go back and look at it, see what the ups and downs is, but pretty much take that logic and apply it to all the other exotics. You know, Doomfang Pauldrons, look for a void weapon with Swashbuckler pretty much, because the void melee kill will synergize with it. Also, Collective Obligation is going to be good with Doomfang Pauldrons now. Not that it wasn't already, but you know what I'm saying. And then Path of Burning Steps, I think that's going to breathe a whole lot more life into Path of Burning Steps, because specking into your grenade is not that, is already attractive enough, right? And then you don't have to be locked to a particular grenade, so you can choose the fastest one if you wanted to. And then on top of that, you're gonna have the damage buffs instantly. So it's gonna be way easier to proc. Like, the reason that I don't personally like using Path of Burning Steps is because it's the way I frame it is like, in-game content, is Path really gonna help me, right? Because I have to, for one, I'm competing with my teammates, and then for two, I'm gonna have to get rapid kills back to back like Rampage in order for it to proc. And then I gotta keep the buff up, right? Like, there's just too many hats to juggle, and there's way more attractive exotics to use. Now, though, I can just get a final blow with my grenade, which is way easier to do, and I can target that way easier, and then my damage buff will stack up. Not to mention, I can also use solar weapons with the demolitions, you know. So there's a couple of, there's a lot of things I was already theory crafting in the dome piece. What's good with your reforged, man? I hope you're having a terrific day, brother. Doing all right so far. I just ran off build theories already and stuff. You already know how I am, man. I got my toke on, you know what I mean? I'm in the kitchen cooking. I'm doing it. Big brain, what up, man? But yeah, That was pretty much when I read those changes. It's pretty awesome. I still need to get on Eternal Warrior and use freaking Risk Runner. Like I just have not done it. I just haven't had the time this season. But maybe we have the time in the vault space before the end of the season to give that a shot. But I have a feeling that's going to be a really fun, turn your brain off and just destroy stuff type of build. So that was just the Titans on that end. I'm curious to see what the ACD is going to do. I don't know how, on paper, the armor charge thing sounds clunky. And it sounds like, it just sounds clunky because when I think about it, it's like, yeah, if I'm using armor charge, I'm probably using kickstarts and stuff like that. So it eating my charges or whatever, right? Like that's kind of, it's kind of meh on paper, right? But maybe it could be a situation where it just performs way better once you actually get it. So we'll see with that. Reforge said, I'm good, man. Just deposited 2 cans of change. Got $200 from them. Came in clutch. That's what I'm talking about, you know. Oh, man. Make it make sense. Literally, right? Coffee can specifically. Hey, I know you pulled up to the store. It's like, the best part of waking up. He jingled the cans. Just coins everywhere, right? But yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You know, my grandpa taught me that a long time ago when I was a little when I was a youngling, bro. That's how he taught me the significance of money and whatnot. Is not really the significance of money, but like the cause and effect of it, right? Like if you save something now, you can reap the rewards of it later if you don't need to spend it now. And yeah, by using cans and saving change over time. But yeah, that's what's up. He said $200 and 2 coffee cans, bro. He was like, that's the richest cup of coffee I ever had. Snap. Put a whole nother meaning on Dunkin' Donuts, right? But let's see. Yeah, so the ACDs, I'm kind of curious to see how that'll go. Like I said, maybe it'll be a situation of where if you're in a melee heavy environment, you kind of stay charged all the time. So we'll see how that one works. Kind of curious. Hellfire Heart, they mentioned it, but they were very vague, but they did say it will apply somehow to Sunspot, so that did get me hyped. And the fact that they kept the final portion of what it does already when you're holding your super is always good too, because the current super I got on, the big brawl hammer, right, is, I think it's the quickest super on the solar. Well, it does the quickest super on the solar subclass, but I think it's in one of the quickest tiers overall. And so Hellfire Heart keeping this intrinsic value like that, I think it'll shine some light on it. What else was it? Oh yeah, since I'm still talking about Titans, right? Quick note on the barricade. It just goes back to what I was saying about how sometimes when it seems like they need a fine little small adjustment, right? They pull out the freaking mallet, yo, and they smack the fire out of something. Like they never, I ain't gonna say never. It just seems like they rarely have a surgeon's approach when they alter the meta in some ways. I think that barricade change was egregious on that end without changing anything else. However, I will say we don't have any information from the TWID this week, so there may be a situation where there are some other things getting brought up or adjusted or changed. But that being said, I think that was I don't know. I just feel like there were better options versus giving it a longer timer. And I think one of the, because I mean there's a lot of options, right? In my mind, it's easy to say that, but just increasing the timer on how long you get a barricade, that's just gonna make people that play Arc Titan swap over to Thruster. That's my main thing. And it's like, I like the idea of a rock paper scissors meta when you have play and counter play, right? And there's a little bit of that random RNG of skill in there too. I just feel like the nerf was so heavy-handed that people are just gonna figure out what the next best meta thing is and just use that versus trying to compete with it. I will say that probably putting more artifact mods, or probably putting something to where it's like your primary weapon has automatic anti-barrier, or just does more damage to barricades, probably would have been a better call. But it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. I do think the reason that we do see barricades as much as we do, though, is because of the intrinsic investment of resilience. And you'll probably be like, well, yeah, duh, right? Because I'm a Titan, I'm gonna run resilience, I'm gonna run it with my class ability. But my point is that because there aren't other incentives to spec into on the other classes, right? Because I don't get an intrinsic bonus for specking into my mobility on my Titan, because I don't get an extra bonus for my melee, because I don't get it for my recovery unless I'm a Warlock, right? Then it makes it a no-brainer decision. And so I think we see more people running that quote-unquote annoying class ability meta, right? And so by that logic, just give the other abilities more intrinsic value, you know, like just a little bit, somewhere to the reason why I won't always just no brain spec into my intrinsic strong point. That's my thought process behind it. But we'll see how it is. I do think that a lot of the Arc Titans are going to be Void Hunters next season. So we'll probably go back on the Invis is annoying meta, but you know, it is what it is, right? We'll see how that goes. I will say that change though reminds me of the Titans change, and I feel like I'm gonna feel that in PvE. So that's more of my reasoning between like having other options versus swinging the mallet, because it has unintended consequences in areas of the game. That's like, you know, that's just the way I'm overall thinking about it. Maybe it's not as bad as it is on paper, or maybe they can adjust it in the future if it is as that bad, right? And so that's just my thought processes on the barricade or whatever. Yeah, I do think though that if the thruster, I know that's intrinsic to the Arc Titan. I do think that if the thruster was available on other Titan classes, then you would probably see the thruster more than you would see the shield, right? And the reason that no one uses the baby barricade is because who's using the baby barricade in trials, no matter how fast that you get it, who's using the baby barricade to get a res, right? You know, so like there is definitely a reason why you are seeing the shield be used as much as it is, and there's a reason why you're not seeing it broken, because who's actually using something with Hake breach armaments on it as well, right? Like the nuance in the context is definitely important when talking about anything, and that's just the way. That's just my big brain breakdown on it. So I guess we'll talk about the hunter exotics next, right? So, woof. Oof, man, Knucklehead Radar, yo. Is that gonna be nasty or what? It's getting the Foe Tracer basically collapsed into it, which is a great bonus. Not that it needed it while you're gonna have your radar, but it is definitely welcome in my opinion, because like now not only am I gonna have my radar, but I'm gonna be able to like literally see where when you're getting ready to repeak. And so it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's not really gonna help, but at the end of the day, it's like I'll take it, right? Like I'll take it. So that's pretty awesome. Hopefully it gets the actual AE bonus that Foe Tracer gets. And that extra little added weakness too is yeah, like that just changed overall. That's like one of the most unexpected, I think, great glow up ones. And again, that's one of those exotics, right, that you don't have to be on a specific subclass to use. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if I see more Knucklehead Radars, and I personally will be using Knucklehead Radar because I love having my radar as a vocal player, right? You know, anytime I'm playing on my team, I will take the title as King of Callouts. I run my mouth non-stop, you know what I mean? Like I might not get the pick, I might not be there with the assist, but I can guarantee I can give you his geospatial location. You know, like my call outs are mint, and yeah, I wear that crown. But yeah, just Knucklehead Radar is gonna add to that flair. So can't wait for that change. What was the other one? Okay, so Foe Tracer is getting a nice little adjustment to where it's going to be able to spawn the elemental tokens, right? That's what I call the fire sprites, the void breaches, the ionic traces, the stasis shards, right? I've been calling them elemental tokens for a hot minute. But that's what the Foe Tracer are going to be able to do that, because what did they say? They said they took inspiration from the monochromatic Maestro, which is pretty awesome for anyone who uses any sort of ability loop, right? You know, hitting a target with an ability and then also synergizing your weapon with that element, you're going to get a nice little bonus, and then when you get a kill, you're going to be able to spawn those little elemental tokens. And so because of this new mod here, Elemental Charge, right? Because of this mod here, Elemental Charge, that's going to make that a very attractive combo. And so I can't wait to really just get to experiment with that one. And again, that's one of those exotics like I was hoping for that isn't locked to a specific subclass, right? And the fact that it opens up those doorways, I'm gonna be looking for creative loops that that like double dip, right? So any way that I can spawn maybe 2 of the same artifact, unless the timer is still as strong as it is, or try to figure out a way to use certain builds where that depended on aspects and fragments to generate those elemental tokens. We'll try to just use Foe Tracer instead in its place, and then make builds that couldn't exist before. So that's going to be pretty fun to use, and plus you're going to get a nice little damage buff with it too. So Foe Tracer actually might be really good in both PvE and PvP. There's a nice little I think it's going to land at a nice little B tier adjustment. Depending on what that damage buff be, it actually might be even better. And if you can stack it or not, right? But it's pretty cool. I didn't expect that for Foe Tracer whatsoever, but that was definitely like a okay, cool. We can consolidate these 2 into one, and then we can just make a whole new basic exotic, right? That's pretty much what it is. They gave it an effect that it just didn't even have before. So it's essentially a new kid on the block with old coat of paint. So that was pretty cool. I was definitely impressed with Foe Tracer. I think it's gonna be a nice sleeper exotic to experiment with. And then we had the Lucky Raspberry. Juicy, yo. I've always tried to make Lucky Raspberry work, but it's one of those things where it needed player agency, or it needed some sort of like deterministic trigger in order to pull off. It was just way too random. And the changes that they gave to it sounds pretty well, as far as like being able to get more grenade energy with ionic traces, and then they gave it some insane synergy being able to stun overload champions intrinsically. So that's just going to make it a viable option. And then if you can figure out a way to, I don't know, get your grenade back extremely fast, something like grenade kick starts and that elemental charge, and picking up ionic traces, and using cold heart, then it might be a little gas cannon. So definitely was surprised with the glow of the Lucky Raspberry, but it got me like that meme with that dude that was walking with his girlfriend and then looking backwards. It was like, okay, I might have to put Ahamkar Spawn down next season and actually rock Lucky Raspberry, But very, very interested to see how that one shapes up for sure, because there's a plethora of ways to make ionic traces. Just off rip. And Cold Heart. I need to get that. I need to work on that little mini short video, man. Cold Heart really is going to be the juice next season, because it's already great because of, like I said, elemental charge, right? And Cold Heart intrinsically makes ionic traces, and it does it so well that like if you run it, you can almost pretty much stay charged up all the time, right? And so it's just gonna get more. It's just gonna get more utility because there's a lot more exotics that can utilize its abilities better, right? And again, it's not tied to any specific setup, so you can use it wherever on any subclass and really start shining. And then last but not least, on the Hunter, we had the Renewal Grass. It got the change to that, We already mentioned that we were probably gonna lean into the Renewal Grass and the Navigator, which I'm definitely can't wait for that. But yeah, just pretty much try to use Renewal Grass and hit as high as the damage resistance as possible. Try to stack as many things as we can. Impulsive Brace, the Navigator, I don't know, the resist from Renewal Grass, Dustfield Nade, right? There's a couple of options we can get into. And then also, because I really love like team synergy, and I was trying to think of a build that would be fun this season, like Fire and Ice, right? Like use Renewal Grass inside of what's it called? Phoenix Cradle's Sunspot, right? So that you have like the Sunspot there, and you're using that for restoration. And then you got the Renewal Grass Dustfield for the damage reduction and stuff. But Renewal Grass timer was just so trash, man, that it just didn't feel good to use. And so now I'm definitely thinking about revisiting that that thought process as a whole and seeing what other combinations we can combine with it. What other combinations we can combine? What other setups we can combine together to make some fun play styles. But that small little tweak is enough to put renewal grass back on the map, in my opinion. Especially if you can figure out some unique ways to like make crystals and shatter, right? Yeah. And then give me a second, I'll check my notes on the Warlock real quick. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what they said. Oh yeah, Astrocyte. So Astrocyte's gonna be gas, right? Astrocyte is gonna be really good, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be really good. I remember reading the leaks, I think it was last season, and they was talking about that Astrocyte might get that change. I'm glad it actually fell through, because I remember reading it at the time, and I remember being like, hey yo, that's gonna be busted. Like, there's no way that just blinking I can make something volatile. Like, there's no way that's gonna happen, right? And so when I didn't see it last season, I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, that was, you know what I'm saying, that was a little too much. Maybe they deemed that it wasn't that they couldn't let that fly. But looking at it now, it's like, yes, I'm glad that it's gonna make its way through. Just being able to blink is gonna be able to cause volatile. Like, there's not even much to say about that, right? Leaning into the aspects and fragments of the Voidlock class is already a evident, you know. Trying to figure out what cool things you can combine with it. Definitely collective obligation off rip, and I don't know, maybe something with wave splitter, but being able to make things volatile, I was already thinking in the void breach realm, seeing what kind of crazy combos we're gonna bring up with that. And it only requires you to blink, you know. And then your blink's already gonna be enhanced too, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a lot more people running Void Lock next season. I already know Cool's is gonna be running it, that's for sure. That's already a must. I already know I'm gonna be seeing him blink. I can picture his Warlock right now, yeah. Oh man. So yeah, that was nice. I'll take a second right here. I guess we'll talk about Wings of Sacred Dawn. I think that was the one on the list that was just like, that was the least attractive on the list. That was the one on the list where I was like, you know, I just overlooked that one, right? I'm probably gonna look back at it at the end of the season and be like, dang, that did get a buff, didn't it? That's the kind of vibe I got from that one. It just didn't sound interesting enough. Maybe I'm just a little bit slightly jaded still with AE not being completely accurate, but I just don't. I don't know. On controller, the playstyle on Wings of Sacred Dawn is just clunky at best, in my opinion. You know, we'll see how well it does though. Maybe there's a play to be had with something like Vex. They did mention Xenophage. Eyes of Tomorrow might be good, to be honest. Well, maybe not, because it automatically reloads too, doesn't it? So I don't know. That'll be one of those things where it's like, I can see somebody pulling off a certain scenario or a certain phase that was impossible before, or just Wings of Sacred Dawn makes it incredibly easier than it was before. Maybe there is something to be had there, you know, maybe like stacking the damage resistance of Wings with something else. But reading the changes didn't really inspire any type of build crafting ideas inside me. So like I said, that was probably like the lowest on the list. And then we have Winter's Guile, which is going to get that melee change with Penumple Blast. At first, I was like, yeah, okay, next. Then I started thinking about it, and there are a pretty good amount of fragments on the Stasis subclass that have to do with melee. And I started thinking about that because I realized that I never really mess with those fragments. Like, anytime I'm making a build, those are easily the ones that I skip over the most, right? Like, I automatically just be like, okay, next, what else can I use? That being said, I am interested to go back and see if there is some sort of synergy to be had with the automatic shatter. I am curious to see how busted that's going to be in PvP, because I doubt that'd be a one-hit kill, but then again, I would not be that surprised if it did, because it's supposed to shatter regardless it should leave them pretty low, right? Like low enough for hand cannon cleanup, in my mind anyway. If it's gonna do the immediate shatter, and plus it's just one less step that you have to do. As a warlock, shattering is such a pain, bro. Like we don't have access to shatter dial, we can't cryo slide. Like when we freeze something, it's like break it with a gun or die, because like by the time we push up on it, it's gonna be unthawed and it's gonna be pushing us, right? And so it automatically shattering, that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I gotta have to go back, look at a couple of the fragments. I think there's a couple that's like when you're surrounded, you get melee energy quicker. Yeah, I remember that one, and I can't remember the other one. I think it's like reload speed or something with melee. So we'll see. Maybe there is something to be had there with Winter's Guile. I don't see it making any super big, humongous waves in PvE, but it's pretty cool that they still kept it Omni class, but it's special. It gets bonuses if you specialize in stasis. So that was pretty awesome. And then the one I'm looking forward to the most is Geomag stabilizers. Picking up ionic traces is going to give you super energy. So it's nice to see that they went back to the original identity of Geomags, right? The ability to get super energy. And it's even better that not only did they consider that, but they implemented some form of that when they went with the change, right? And so I'm super happy to see that back. And of course you're gonna be on Arc anyway because it extends Chaos Reach, right? And you know, there's plenty of ways to make ionic traces, not to mention Cold Heart, Delicate Tune, you know, pretty sure there's a couple more that I'm not even thinking about, Jolt and stuff. But one thing I am curious about, and I'm gonna test as soon as we get our hands on it, is if the that combo, right, the Geomags, getting ionic traces gives you super while you have Geomags on. You already know we're gonna test to see if that works on any subclass, because if that is the case, then holy, like I said, Delicate Tune, Cold Heart, and I'm gonna be using that on something like maybe Strand, you know, because like there's not really any, you know, Strand exotics. So, you know, if I'm using Cold Heart, why wouldn't I use it on why wouldn't I use Geomags and get my super back fast? So that's gonna be a very interesting thing to see. Half of me is thinking it won't work, but then the other half is like, I don't think no one would, I don't think they would ask the question why, right? Like, it's made for Chaos Reach. You know, there's no reason not to code it off of the other classes, you know. Maybe there is, but I'm hoping they don't. And yeah, those exotic changes are definitely juicy looking for the build crafter scene. Like I said, once we get our hands, or once we get a little bit more knowledge on what we're gonna have at our disposal when it comes to the artifact mods, then that's when I think the real build crafting is gonna take off. But yeah, we had a couple of good changes towards the threadlings and stuff like that too, right? I think Swarmers is gonna make a better play. The change to the Wanderer sounded really good too, because I liked the idea of the Wanderer, but they hit the nail on the head when they had said that making your way, putting yourself in danger to grab the Wanderer, grab the Tangle, wasn't the best play most of the time. And so now the fact that you can shoot it from afar, it puts me in the mind of Warmon cells, and how Warmon cells had that just had different abilities if you spec'd into them. And I really like that idea that now I can shoot Tangles, not only my Tangles, but I can shoot your Tangles too. I can shoot Tangles from afar, and I can have that suspend effect. So I really like that. Pairing that with I think the Swarmers, to where your threadlings, create Tangles, is just gonna make that exotic shine a little bit more. And then not to mention whatever exotics we're gonna get, and then not to mention whatever aspect that each class gets that might that might synergize with or make a different playstyle. You know, that's the thing. I think the reason I didn't really resonate with Strand too much is because, like, one, it wasn't like super flashy, and it didn't do something that wasn't already done before, right? Like Stasis, in my mind, did what Strand did a little bit better. And then, like I said, it wasn't flashy, right? Like, it wasn't no type of effect, like Ignition or Jolt, or like I just couldn't see like my effect applied. Unraveling is cool out of the three effects on Strand, in my opinion, but the way you go about proccing it was it was too much. It just didn't justify it for me on that end. And after using it more over time, it definitely grew on me. The suspend feature did. You know, like I said, it wasn't that flashy, but the utility of it really started to solidify itself in my playstyle. And then I started messing with threadlings a lot, and then I really liked the threadling playstyle because of just making a lot of these little mini minions and just seeing them just literally litter the battlefield and attack the opposition is just always it was just a very appealing playstyle. And so the fact that they're buffing that is going to be pretty cool. And then regarding tangles, they just weren't as interesting coming off of something like Warmon Cells. I think Azacross said it pretty well. Just the effects that Warmon Cells had back in the day kind of spoiled us. And you know, I think that if they wanted to lean more into using the tangles and stuff like that, giving them certain effects when you destroy them probably would be a really cool route to go. Like giving it that sort of agency, like either give me an effect when I pick up and throw it, you know, since I have to do something like that, maybe make the effect pay off a little bit more, or make it worth it to where I want to put myself in danger to throw my tangle instead of shooting it from afar. I think if they come up with some aspects or fragments like that, some sort of mods, then a player like me would be more inclined to run Strand on the regular and motivated to create those effects and stuff like that. But it did grow on me a little bit, but that goes back to my point that, like I said, once we get more aspects and fragments, right, the options broaden up. We get more playstyles and avenues. So I'm pretty sure there may be something in those areas that I resonate with or I like. On the Hunter specifically, man, I really have been loving running that Shadow Strand Jutsu and the Ensnare and Slam together. Just having the option to do whichever one I want is just pretty fun. And I'm probably gonna lean into that more, especially since they nerfed a lot of the effects of Strand. I'm not gonna lie, even though I didn't really play with Strand like that, at the end of the day, those nerfs kind of feel heavy on paper, bro. They kind of feel heavy. I get it though, but like I do think they kind of went a little too hard with the fragments. I think where they put everything at a base was a decent level, maybe adjusted by a second or two up. But I do think that no one's gonna be rocking those fragments just for a second or two bonus. I think at minimum a fragment should give you what, like a 3-second intrinsic bonus on something, you know? I think like 1 or 2 seconds is definitely for what a fragment is supposed to do. I don't know. I will see though. Maybe there's still play to be had with that. But I do get why they did it, because the way they put it made sense, right? It is a skeleton key, you know. When my teammates were running Strand, I just turned my brain off because I was like, all right, I ain't even got to worry about no champion. Like normally, I'm the one who's like, all right, make sure we stun the champion. Champion stun. Let me switch to Divinity. Let me make sure. Oh, he's really not gonna open the door. Let me switch to Divinity. Let me make sure. The homies are shooting it. All right, 3, 2, 1. The barrier's up. You know, like I had to play that mind game, the little mini mind game, over and over and over. But when Strand came out, it was like when the homies rocking Abby and Leaf, you ain't gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta. It's like, yo, homie always got his barricade. He popping that non-stop. Everything is getting Pinocchio'd. So you ain't, you know, maybe that changed now. It will, I think that's what they wanted though, is for us to be more engaged in combat and not so much as lackadaisical. That being said though, it still feels bad going downwards on the scale of power and duration stuff. I just want to make that point as well, you know. And so hopefully, if it's too bad, you know, hopefully feedback will be like, hey man, it sucks. And they'll be like, all right, yo, maybe we're a little too overboard. Let's adjust this stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We also, like I said, we got to see what the artifact mods are looking like. Very curious to see what the flavor of the season's gonna be, man. They haven't done Strand in a hot minute.
Try to hack us through,
and what? We got Void and Arc this season, so maybe they're gonna revisit Solar. Yeah, probably Strand. I mean, probably Stasis and Solar, maybe. Would probably be what the artifact mods have to deal with.
Sorry.
Actually, check my bounties real quick to make sure I'm doing these while I'm ranting and rambling. Multi-kills with my super melee final blows. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I need a scout rifle. I don't know if I even got a scout on me. Yeah, I ain't got no scout on me. But yeah, curious to see what the changes will be. And then we got the raid on the 1st. And I didn't even think about it till this morning, man. But yeah, we're gonna have a master version of the raid a couple weeks after that. So is what I was thinking about this morning. I was like, I wonder what the raid's gonna be. And then I was talking to the group we ran Ron with last night? I'm telling you, bro, these days we blending together. Yeah, we ran a Ron last night trying to get the homie the conditional finality. I told him just put it out there in the universe, man, and let it go and watch how that boomerang effect work. But yeah, we was talking about the raid, and I was thinking about what weapons would come depending on what raid they pick, right? And whichever raid they pick, they have a great selection of weapons to choose, right? Like if it's Wrath of the Machine, I'm looking forward to maybe Genesis Chain, Chaos Dogma, the If Materia, right? And if it's Crota's End, I can't remember the names of the weapons, but I remember they had a hand cannon, and that was the thing I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to the most if Crota's come back. And if Leviathan comes back, there's so many weapons in Leviathan, bro. You got Ghost Primus, you got Alone as a God, you got Sins of the Past, which Osiris mentioned in his what's the name, right? He literally used the phrase Sins of the Past in the Veil Containment. So like, if we playing Spin for conspiracy theory, that seems like the most in-game likely, right? You know, let's not forget the Taken King will return, you know, courtesy of Savathun. But yeah, Mob Justice, the Conspirator, Inaugural Address, like, whoo! I don't think there is a weapon in King's Fall that I don't want, let alone want and be able to craft it too, right? And then taking it to a further level, want to be crafted and can get a master adept version. So, like I said, whatever raid they choose, I'm just gonna be happy because the loot gonna be fire. And then if they do end up choosing one of the raids they've already done, like well, not done, but Wrath of the Machine, Sins of the Past, right? Those, not Sins of the Past, Leviathan. I was thinking of exotics that they've already done. So Outbreak Prom and Legend of Acreus, they have, like they said, which I believe was foreshadowing, and I think it was an interview, they said they have an opportunity to make a brand new exotic, right? And so that's going to be pretty awesome to see what they come up with on that end. But if it is Crota's End, I think I'm going to be most hyped because Necrochasm is done. I love that weapon, yo. I think out of D1, if I wanted to see any guns return, I would have to look at a list. But off the top of my head right now, for nostalgia's sakes, I would say that is Jalo Supercell, man. I know we got Risk Runner, but it's not the same. But Jalo Supercell and freaking dang, I'll lose it that fast. Necrochasm, yeah. The explosion with the just the brawl explosions when you get the final blow, like, oh my god, y'all know how I feel about autos, right? But I don't know, they've been on an auto rifle binge lately, you know. So maybe they might not, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they did at the same time, you know. But yeah, we've gotten Quicksilver Storm, we've gotten Centrifuge, right? And so like maybe they'd be like, all right, boys, you need to pull down on the autos, but hey man, send full throttle, send it, yo. So yeah, so if it's Wrath, Genesis Chain will probably be the one that I'm most hyped about. If it's freaking Crota's End, definitely the Necrochasm. And then if it's Sins of the Past, I'm gonna just keep saying Sins of the Past, and y'all just gonna have to live with it. If it's Sins of the Past, it doesn't matter. Whatever weapon, I'm gonna be farming the living daylights out of that. So, and if I got time this weekend, I might do a spoil farm off stream. And the cool thing about next season too is that Ron will finally be available in the master raid rotation too, right? And so since that's the case, I'll finally get my lazy ass up in there and try to get some master weapons on that end. Like I probably would have done the master raid if I'd have been a little bit more motivated, but I don't know. Sometimes I look at all the things that are at play, right? And the fact that you can't farm it on repeat, it kind of turned me off from doing it, because then it's like, well, if I get a trash roll, then I'm gonna be like, well, that's time wasted, right? and I would just rather farm it when I can farm it unlimited, right? Where I can just sit down, get like a nice little 3 to 4 hour session with some cool homies that's just cracking jokes, right? And just, you know, just really just getting a vibe and just farm it that way. That way, if I do get a couple of rolls, I have something to look forward to versus just getting something trash and just being like, oh, well, that was it for the week, you know? And so I will definitely be more motivated to get into Master Ron next season once it becomes into the raid rotator.
I'm sending a fire team to seal the complex.
So can't wait for that one.
This cannot happen again. It will not. Thanks to you, Guardian, the dream of the city lives on, without fear of
Let's see
weapons
if
in
the
the sky.
Twab is up. That's not it. But yeah, like I said, didn't even realize until earlier this morning that there's going to be a master version of whatever the new raid's going to be. So looking forward to that too, right? And of course the 48-hour raid race, right? I'm gonna give it my all as I always do. But curious to see which one is gonna be. Out of the three though, if it is Crotus, I'm gonna need a big refresher because contrary to popular belief, I am not a D1 vet. Well, that's with an asterisk. Like, I was there when D1 first launched, and I played it, but I didn't stick with it, right? I came back. I came back before Rise of Iron dropped. I know that. I can't remember the exact time period, but I know it was a good maybe 2 or 3 months before Rise of Iron dropped, and I've been consistently playing it since then. Probably say, I'd probably say since then. I'd say the longest weakening period I had was when Monster Hunter came out and when it was in the Curse of Osiris era, obviously. But apart from that, I've definitely been just along for the ride most of the time. I just love the ongoing vibe of progression with a game like this, right? The community sense. Like, looking back at it now, if I would have told me, like, I don't know, I would still believe it because I played zombies for a hot minute. So yeah, I definitely would believe it. But it's always been appealing to me, the progression of something like Destiny, how it's like, I don't know, I just always found it entertaining. Like, when I came back around the Rise of Iron era, dying to a weapon that was no longer available, and that always stuck out to me. It was like, dang, that person actually was playing grinder for something, and then he kept it, and then it's not available no more like that. Instead of striking the level of FOMO in me, like hating that I didn't have it before, it hit me with the idea of like, you know what, that's pretty cool. The fact that you can build your arsenal, you can make your character powerful, and then it actually depending on how long you stick with it, you grow over time. And that's just always been appealing to me in a community sense, right? Because then you have metrics to compare yourself to and stuff like that. But very curious to see where it's gonna go in the future, man. I'm pretty sure we all know by now that Destiny has a life cycle at least of a couple more years on it, and that's putting it very I'm gonna even say pessimistically, right? Because anyone with any sort of intuitive sense is reading between the lines and seeing this, right? Like, if Destiny was going to end anytime soon, they wouldn't be replacing the voice actor for Lance Reddick, right? If Destiny was going to end anytime soon, then we wouldn't be getting a big reveal for the final shape, right? Like, my main proponent behind that is like, it's either going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be the final shape and that's it, and then we're going to get the new Destiny, or, which is more likely, we're going to get the final shape with an annual pass. And then we're probably going to get another reveal after that, right? And since we're getting a third subclass, probably, right? Like, it's almost like 98% sure that we're getting another subclass. I doubt that they would leap into another game immediately after giving us our final subclass, and who's to say this is the final subclass, right? I'm of the firm sentiment that they should make our elemental effects mix and match with each other. Like, that's the level I'm trying to take. I'm trying to cause an arc volatile explosion. I know, an arc volatile ignition. That's the level I want to get on, But I feel like we already know is where it's going. The fact is, like, looking back at this part now, literally the Traveler and it has like the little veil effect, like, it's literally foreshadowing to you, instilling in your mind subliminally, I think, that this is where the next, this is where we're going next, period, point blank. The whole screen obviously will probably change because it'll be some sort of a revamp, but I think the fact that this changed at the end of the campaign and we've been staring at it every time we choose a destination, is the innuendo, the slight little teasers, the little nods to it, you know. And I think it's unfortunate that the Lightfall campaign was received the way it was, or it was implemented the way it was. You could pick whatever side of the coin it was. Just, you know, recognize that it is currency, but that it didn't lean to the mystery aspect more of it, right? Like, I don't know, maybe there is some hidden Easter eggs, maybe there is some hidden foreshadowing and everything. What's good with you, Mr. Code Juice? But all in all, when compared to Witch Queens, which had a big revelation, mind you, like an insane, and it had a Pandora's box. It just kept having revelations after revelations, right? You know what I'm saying? Like one of the revelations was that Savathun didn't steal the light, right? Like the Traveler literally was like, "Hey, Guardian down." It was like, "Get up, let me res you real quick." Like, you know what I'm saying? We found that out. We was under a different impression. We found out what the witness was, right? We found out that Savathun helped us in the collapse, right? Like, it was a box of revelations. Lightfall didn't hit like that, you know? And it's unfortunate that it did. I think if it would have had some sort of, like, mystery thread or something to chase, something that was more in your face, then it would have been, then the road to final shape would have been, I don't know. It would have played off way better in a better light. But that being said, though, with the writing on the wall that I can see, yeah, I can almost clearly see. I'm gonna say clearly. I can clearly see that. Yeah, Destiny 2 still has more life cycles to it. I mean, it's in the verbiage they use, right? They say this will be the end of the saga, right? You know, this is the end of a saga, you know? And the fact that it's the end of a saga means that another saga is going to have to begin, you know? And so once, what happens at the beginning of a saga? Sagas are normally, not always, but normally in the form of trilogies. And, you know, but I think more than anything, we're going to go to some sort of, with the knowledge of that dev interview, when he was talking about after the final shape, there'll be more opportunities to explore the Vex. I'm paraphrasing, by the way, but he did mention the Vex. I think that put me into the mind of the Glassway and back in Beyond Light, where we got the lore where Clovis and them, I think Maya Sundaresh was actually with that team, but with Clovis and them, they went to the other side of the Glassway, and it was literally a solar system where the Vex had turned the star into like a freaking Star Forge factory or something like that, right? Like, could you imagine that, bro? Like our star being encompassed by a what is it, a Kardashev civilization? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Like literally making a power plant around a star, let alone a solar system. And so like that stuck out to me when they announced when he mentioned that with the Vex. And I think that's where we're going to go, is to the Vex's solar system. Not to mention, we haven't heard from Clovis Bray, right? From a hot minute, you know what I'm saying? Ever since Season of the Sarah, ever since we got that cutscene where we found out that he really built Rasputin for that, what's the name? We haven't really heard anything else from Clovis, right? And so I think he's definitely going to rear his ugly head back in the picture, especially now that Maya Sundaresh came back up. And going back and looking at the Season of the Splicer, I need to go back and like literally rewatch all of the aspects. I was watching a little bit of it the other day, but you know what's funny is that Lakshmi, going back and watching Season of the Splicer with Lakshmi. Hold up, let me continue in a second. Yeah, I seen the new voice actor for Zavala. It's old buddy from Call of Duty, Ramirez, Sergeant Foley. So yeah, but that goes back into what I was saying about how I'm pretty sure Destiny still has a decent life cycle, because if they're replacing the Zavala voice actor, then that leads more credence into they still have more story to tell, and that means that Zavala is part of it, right? And so yeah, the unfortunate part is that we weren't able to give Lance Reddick a proper send-off, but the fortunate part about it is, which I'm pretty sure he'll be happy about, is that his legacy is going to be carried on, right? And so it'll take a minute. I'm pretty sure everybody getting used to the new Zavala voice actor, but you know, we still got a commander. You know, the Titans still got their commander, so that's what's up. And he's gonna be reunited with Cade in a way, if Cade isn't like a hallucination or an opposite version of the nightmare, right? In proper context. I just thought about that, so that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, what I was saying, Oh, I lost that tangent and I broke it off right there on purpose so I could remember at that point too. Oh, what was I talking about, man? I was talking about the... I can't even remember, to be honest. That's why I hate stopping to start. Oh, man. Let me think. I can't remember. I'll have to rewind the stream to remember exactly what I was talking about. Nah. You ain't gotta apologize for communicating, bro. You good. That's my fault for having a trash memory. What do you mean? Shoot. Nah, you good. I remember it was something I was ranting about. I think it was right after I got done talking about Clovis Bray and the star system, and about how Destiny is just gonna have more longevity to its life cycle in general. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. It was a tangent that I was gonna go on about that, because I remember when I was thinking about Clovis Bray. But yeah, I wish there was more threads overall. I love those like Sherlock Holmes mystery threads to where when you go back and look at them, they're in your face. I remember now. It was talking about Lakshmi. I went back and watched Season of the Splicer, and one thing that I noticed about Lakshmi, except for her being extremely, I mean, she was borderline racist. I ain't gonna say she was racist, but she was borderline racist to the Lixney. But the part about her being very harsh to the Lixney was that she did not want Mithrax messing with the Vex. She did not want Mithrax doing anything with her information and her perspective of the Vex. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was. It might have been the device or it was something, but I remember Mithrax offered to help with her research, I think it was, on the Vex, and Lakshmi was quick to shut him down. So I'm thinking, like, in hindsight, now that we know that Lakshmi was Maya Sundaresh, I'm thinking that that might be some level of foreshadowing that Bungie was implementing back then, right? Going back and looking at, you know, M-Sun 12, looking at Lakshmi didn't want Mithrax interacting with the Vex, because maybe if Mithrax did, maybe Mithrax would have found out what she was doing, or maybe, you know, maybe he would have found out more than ETI when it came to Lakshmi. But those are like the main hanging, dangling threads right now, right? Is Lakshmi, that Starforged civilization on the other side of the Glassway Strike, the Vex, and it was another like lingering thread, because the Vex, like, very, very interesting, because the Vex are weird, bro. You know, like them time traveling goons, dog. I can't even really wrap my mind around them fools in general, but we know that Asher has been associated with the Vex so far, and if anything, maybe him and Maya has linked up, but we know the Vex have been trying to get to the Veil, for sure, or have been trying to mess with the Veil in some sort of capacity. So it's just very interesting to see where the next saga is going to bring us. It doesn't seem like the Vex are aligned with any other faction either, except for the Soul Devices. Like, the Soul Devices seems to be the only one that's associated with the Witness or the Taken, but apart from that, they seem to be outside of our conflict between light and dark. Seems like they operate on another paradigm, but maybe that's what the dev meant too, with being able to explore. Maybe that's what he meant by exploring the Vex. I did have this weird thought after thinking about what the Witness was. Maybe the Vex were like a pre-Witness race, right? Because the reason I say that is because the Witness seems to be like an amalgamation of his whole species, right? Like we've seen the cutscene, we've seen that it seems to be formed of all of the species combined together. They got some knowledge between the Veil and the Traveler, right? But I wonder that it put me in the mind of the Vex, how all the Vex are Radiolarian, and I'm curious that because they have like no figurehead, but I'm curious to see if what if the Vex are like a pre race or whatever, right? That came into contact with that. Because another weird link is between the Vex, Clovis, and Exos, right? Because let's not forget that Clovis used Vex to make Exos, right? Clovis used Vex and Clarity, Darkness, Clarity Control in order to make Exos. And so there's a lot of tangled, pun intended, mess in there, right? And I think coming full circle, that was what they were trying to do with Lightfall, was to make, was to basically drag us through the mud so we can come out clean on the other side. But so that plot point of payoff, right, to be like, dang, Maya and Clovis were really on some dark shit. Like, I think that was their goal, but I don't think it landed as well. But yeah, you can. That's the angle that I'm looking at, is that Clovis and Maya experimented with stuff they wasn't supposed to, for the sake of progress in humanity, and it just created some very, very messed up results, is what I'm thinking. But maybe we'll get more. Maybe we'll get more info in the future. But I do think Clovis will rear his ugly head back up in conjunction with the Witness. And on that same vein, now that we know the origins of the Witness, let's go back to Season of the Defiance when the Witness was kidnapping humans. We still don't know why the Witness was doing that, do we, huh? And so maybe Clovis will play a part in that aspect, right? But yeah, those are just a couple of lingering threads that I got jingling on in the dome piece up there in the memory warehouse. I forgot to even check or pick up Bounties. I actually might have to leave this one real quick. So, man, that's why I don't get to rant and rambling, because I'll be forgetting, man. Oh, yeah, I actually gotta leave this one. Alright, let's go pick up our Bright Dust from good old Zav, and then let's go on into Gambit. Let's do a little bit of Gambino. Yeah, I guess we'll swing off into Crucible. You know what? We'll see if was it 6v6? Yeah, that's probably Countdown. We'll probably play Countdown when we play Crucible then. Ugh, Team Scorch. It's trash, man. Straight trash. Coach, you said ill Gambit. Look, man, I gotta get my Bright Dust now. You know, when we get to the end of the when we get to the end of the season, I can't be lacking, you know. I'm actually doing pretty good, bro. I'm sitting at 19K now. I still have my I still got my seasonal buy, right? Which I think is gonna drop 4,000. And then I still got all the Bright Dust I can claim from my pass right here. So hopefully, you know, it'll pay off next season when they give us what's the name. He said the rich getting richer. Nah, man, I'm like Scrooge McDuck over here. I'm just holding on to my stuff. Nah, it did help out this season because the fact that they sold the only silver, like Kratos and Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, since that was only silver. Because normally I'll buy it for Bright Dust when it comes up piece by piece if I like it. But yeah, since it was only silver, I didn't have to wait anything. Am I still trying to raid with you? I might not, depending on what time it is. What time are you trying to raid? Let's see. I might cut the stream short early because we did just get the TWAB. Let me read the TWAB real quick and we'll see from there. What was I doing? My mind just blanked. Oh yeah, I gotta go pick up my Gambit bounties. Tell you, bro, getting old is not what you want, man. I'm going on almost 1,000. I'm 968 this year. It's crazy, bro. He said, I don't know, it don't really matter. Okay. Yeah, I do still need to raid up because I do need to get my okay, cool. Because I still need to get my clan bounties done, man. Oh, dang. I still need to do my damn... I still need to do these, man. Cool, you said I ain't played Destiny2 in a while. That's good, man. Honestly. It's good to take a break from stuff that you enjoy once in a while because once you come back to it, you know, you enjoy it. And that's the thing that I wish that most people really... It's layers to it, right? Like, it's the internet, so it's easy to say something that you don't really... That's not 100% you, right? Like, it's nice to express yourself, and sometimes, you know, stuff can be misinterpreted. Sometimes somebody is just joking. Sometimes he only means it a little bit. Sometimes it can be misconstrued. But I say all that to say is, like, if you're really not enjoying something, just take your time and, you know, take a break from it for a while. You know, wait until it gets to a level that you do enjoy it, or it's improved to where you come to it. But don't feel like you are trapped or obligated or locked into something, because a lot of that does come from your own mental, whether that is an addiction to something or whether that's because you feel like you obligated to locked into it, right? Like, you should you should pretty much enjoy all the stuff that you do. Mr. Kuju said all the negativity in social media is draining, but honestly, the season has been a bit lackluster, and that's true. And that's why a lot of the reasons I try my best to approach stuff from a unbiased perspective. I still have my own, I still got my own likes, I still got my own qualms, I still got my dislikes and all that stuff. But for the most part, objectively, I try to approach stuff from an unbiased perspective. That way, I can find a good temperature to land on. And when you do, it's not always negative. And when you are always negative, there's almost no way that you can uplift that energy. And the same thing when you always positive, right? You're more likely to be gullible, and there's no way that reality is ever going to land with you. And so that's why I just try to find a nice little middle ground, right? But Koju said Diablo even getting hate, but honestly, the game is really fun, and I've been enjoying that. And that's it at the end of the day, right? It's like regardless of what the costume is, what the external atmosphere is, right? You still do have to factor yourself, right? As above, so below, right? You know, the so below is gonna be the how you feel, how you resonate with something. And I guess in this case, the as above will be the outside, the world, the persona, whatever. But like, both of those are important, right? It's important to take the temperature of the game, and if you're not really liking it or enjoying it, it's cool to step away. And if you aren't and you want it to be better, give feedback through the proper channels, because I'm pretty sure someone at some point will see it. And the worst case scenario is if you don't, then who is, right? If you don't give that feedback, who is? Even if no one does see it, if you don't give that level of feedback, how can you expect someone else to voice how you feel? You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, if it's in a bad time, give good feedback. And the same thing, if it's in a good time, you know, say the same thing. Say what you like, elaborate on it, and try to give a clear-cut road of communication on it. But at the end of the day, I guess I'm saying all of that to say, like, yeah, man, if you enjoy something, still mess with it. And if you don't, take a break from it. Nobody's locking you in or obligated to it. I think a lot of that, too, comes from the fact that you got to keep that's why the other layer of that is the nuance and the context, right? The nuance of it is we've been playing this game for a long time, right? And so there will be ups and downs to it. And we got to be able to, understand that when that happens, right? And then we got to be able to interpret or translate how to act at the same time, right? You know, when it is a downtime, it would be nice to have a collective area to go to voice our frustrations where we know is being heard, versus just being bombarded with negativity at every angle, hoping that something changes, right? It's better to, like I said, if it's in a negative state, we should have a megaphone. We should have some sort of mouthpiece. We should have a speaker. Yeah, we ain't got no speaker no more, yo. God took the speaker out. But we should have a speaker to where we could voice our concerns, and we could have that open channel to where we could maybe meet, you know, where we want to be. And like I said, by having that attitude, we can approach that angle, you know. But at the same time, if you're negative all the time, or if you're yelling at someone, how do you, yeah, he been gone since the Red War, right? Yeah, the speaker, he been gone, bro. He been got clapped. But at the same time, you know, if you're extremely positive all the time, you know, you're going to overlook some of the stuff that does need to be changed. So there's definitely a balance to be had. And I think it's exactly how you said. There's some good times and bad times. Right now, it's like a story, right? You got your climax, and then you got your peaks and you got your valleys, right? And right now, we in a valley. I'm pretty sure after Final Shape, or on the day of the Final Shape reveal, we're going to have a peak. And we're going to have a peak for a good minute until probably the third week of trials. And then after the third week of trials, we're going to start diving into a valley. But it's understanding those cycles and those vibes and being able to be honest with yourself, right? Is how you make that progress, when you can look at it and be like, yeah, man, I like this about the game. Let me try to, you know, give proper feedback about this. Or I do not like this about this game. It could be worse, but at the same time, it's not as good as it could be. How can I get this, that, and the third change, you know? He said, I think people just frustrated that PvP ain't what it is. And 1 second. I'm supposed to be reading the Twab over here, and I'm ranting off and stuff, man.
Let's do business.
Yeah, that is the PvP community. I mean, let me fully read that, because I couldn't see it all the way. But it's definitely a like I said, I like to always think about it with nuance and context, right? You know, I like to think that the devs don't wake up and like, yeah, I'm gonna make a bad game, I'm gonna make bad choices, I'm gonna make bad decisions. Just as I like to think that the bulk of the community doesn't be like, yeah, I'm gonna just be a dick today. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that's the way things don't go. Of course, like I said, the nuance and context, of course, there's some fringes of that. There are some elements where maybe that is the case. There's some elements of that where maybe that's not the case. But at the end of the day, having that approach to it, that optimistic but realist approach to it, I think makes better progress than the opposite end of having the negative things will never get better type of approach, right? But at the end of the day, the opening them channels of communication is the best way, man, because the best way to pair it is like a relationship, right? That's with any relationship. If you don't voice what you want or your concerns or what you can provide in a relationship, right, then you can't expect the other person to read your mind or respond accordingly, right, if you never say stuff like that. Koju said, I think people just frustrated that PvP ain't what it is and where they want it to be. I definitely agree, and that's what I mean about having a speaker, right? I wish we had some sort of a speaker head we could go to that we know that Bungie devs listen to on the regular, and we could be like, hey, okay, so the bulk of the PvP community literally wants these things, okay? And then when we get a response, like how they said with maps, I would be better if instead of everybody just tearing them a new one, they're telling us like, hey, this is how we program, this is how we do stuff, okay? Whether you agree with it or not, they're telling us their workflow and how they mess with it. So if we had that speaker head, maybe we could filter some of our opinions, maybe some options, and say, hey, well, instead of upgrading this every season, how about you cut down on XYZ and then give us ABC, you know? But we don't have that sort of a speaker head that can, you know, that we know can facilitate what we particularly want, you know? Like instead of, it'd be like, cool, if you can't give us, say, a map every season, okay, how many maps can you give us a year, right? It would be cool if somebody somewhere on the next podcast could ask that voice. Or, okay, cool, we've established that you can only give us a certain amount of maps, you know? I'm not asking the why, you know? I'm not asking the how. All I'm asking is, instead, can you give us this that will make PvP feel better, right? Instead of ability spamming all the time and nerfing everything, how about we have a bare bones playlist once in a while, you know? Maybe increase the loot, you know? Maybe if we can't have this, can we at least have map voting, you know? And I think if we had, like I said, a speaker head, someone to where we could ask those questions, maybe not weekly, but maybe like every two seasons, right? Twice per season, because it does seem like even though they've cut communications down to a low beat, which is acceptable, right? Given the vitriol of communications, right? If it was a clear line of communication, the communications on their side wouldn't break down. But regardless, it would be nice if, like, during those times when we see them on podcasts, we could have those questions funneled in a nature that resonates with the bulk of the community, right? Because that's how I feel, right? Like, cool, I understand, you know, I'm not telling you how to work because I don't work there, right? I wouldn't want people telling me how to work where I work, right? As long as I clock in, get my job done appropriately and clock out. But at the same time, if you want a specific thing done, talk to me. Tell me how you want it. And if it's in my area of expertise, I have no problem providing it, you know? And I'm pretty sure they feel the same way on some end. So like I said, if you can't give us maps, let's open up the discussion about map voting, right? If you can't give us maps, let's open up discussion about Forge mode, right? If you can't give us more game modes, let's open up a discussion about maybe having a community create some game modes on some Forge mode, having a Forge playlist, right? Like, open up those discussions instead of just like ripping them a new one. Because then it, honestly, if someone comes at me all like that, bro, I'm just not even gonna pay them no attention or respond. Because like the lines of communication, it's not inviting, right? You know, if I try to holler at somebody and they shut me down abrasively, why would I try again? You know what I mean? But if it's like on a level that's appropriate, then it's like, all right, cool. But anyway, Kuju said it's honestly not even the devs on where the game is going. It's the big wigs, which is true too. And honestly, like, I guess my most tart or brash reply, right, is like, if you really want change, if you really want change, become a shareholder. That's my goal, yo. If you really want to change the game, yo, become a shareholder, right? Sit on that board meeting, right? Be the one in the meeting when they be like, yo, we can't have PvP maps. We're like, nah, son, we making a DLC for PvP, like that's the type of power, you know, like I said, that's that way out there thought, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there that wants the game to be better has the money to be a shareholder. So like I said, if you really want change, that should be your goal, right, is to be a shareholder. But nah, yeah, seriously though, that's where it's at though. The unfortunately, everybody got a boss, right? And we all know how it is when the shit rolls downhill. That's just how it is. And so that's what I mean, right? So if you can, that's where it comes full circle to the feedback. If you can make or construct feedback in a proper way and present it, I'm pretty sure it would be easier for them to justify the presentation on certain things. But when we're all scattered around and we're at each other's throats and communication, some good thoughts aren't even read because of the vitriol or the toxicity and some stuff, well then, you know, you can just see how the situation devolves into what it is. And so like I said, most of the time I take an unbiased approach and I take it from an optimistic but realistic approach, you know, because to me it just make more progress that way. But all right, big old rant out of the way, man. Let's get on the twab, man. Y'all done got me all off derailed and stuff, man. Golly. But yeah, man, end of the day, long story short, the community is feeling a little down right now. Hopefully the Lightfall reveal will make it better. I do know that at one point it will be better, because like I was saying the other day, the way I look at it, Destiny's lowest points from as long as I've been playing, right? Keep in mind I came in after Rise of Iron, so maybe they were probably lower points. But Destiny's lowest points were Curse of Osiris, Beyond Light, when Stasis was running rampant, and that was polarizing because some people liked it, some people didn't. And then now, right? And out of all those three, I would say this, where the temperature is now, is slightly higher than Beyond Light. If not a little bit higher, you know what I'm saying? I think it's actually not as bad as Beyond Light by a long stretch. I just think the sentiment feels like that, because like how Mr. Cool Juice said, it just feels like a lackluster season. You know, we ran through a lot of the good stuff and stuff, but I think if we sit back and look at it objectively and look at like all of the quality of life stuff we got overall, how the season itself changed, look at the scope of how when they released the first state of the game, they told us that they were going to try something new, and we know, hopefully everybody knows, that once you try something new, maybe your first iteration on something isn't always the best, but the more that you start to iterate and, you know, improve stuff and you lay brick by brick, right, you start to see the bigger picture. So like I said, this is like, I'll look at it like that. Like, this is the first season they're actually trying something new with the seasonal model. They're trying something new overall. We got new, just overall the quality of life approach they're doing. I will say that if they focus more on the ritual activities and a little bit more quality of life adjustments here and there, they'll be in a pretty good spot. Which is why, like I said, I wish we had a feedback piece level. And honestly, you know, it's like that old saying, fine, I'll do it myself. I guess I should honestly try to do that myself, right, with the feedback, if I feel that way. Should take my own advice. But all right, this week in Destiny 8:10, moin moin, hello in German, Guardians. This week, we share some cool stuff about the changes coming in next season, and your lucky streak continues. Not only to finish your fishing triumphs, but also to get your hands on the newest exotic scout rifle, Wicked Implement. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Mr. Cool Juice, did you get your Wicked Implement? Because I know I still need to get mine, and I know Carl said he was going to run it with me. I was just curious if you got yours as well, but I still need to snag that. But before we start, let's look back at last week's prior topics. The Solstice reminders and updates, the Trials Community Map winner, Player Support Weekly Report, and the Community Arc of the Week and Movie of the Week picks. Now, this week, we'll be taking a look at the following. An important update on the future of Zavala's journey, a new exotic rotator mission details. Cool Juice said, nope, he didn't get it yet. Okay. Recap of the dev insights, Season 22 abilities and armor changes preview, age gating changes. Grandmaster Psyops Moon Battleground is back. It says, reminder, save the date for August 22nd, the showcase, and then the Witch Queen enters PlayStation Plus, and then they have the movie of the week and the movie of the artist of the week. All right, so it says, thank you, Commander. Earlier this year, we lost Lance Reddick, the English language voice actor of Commander Zavala. Lance's iconic performance led us through some of the most intense moments in Destiny's history, and his impact on the Guardians, our community, and Bungie as a whole will not be forgotten. Yeah, that's right. We read that earlier today. It says, today we announced that the prolific television, film, and voice actor Keith David will be taking over the role of Zavala in the Final Shape and beyond. So like I said, I'm pretty sure after Final Shape, still has a few more years. Pretty sure you heard the rant before. I'm aiming for about 2025, 2027 when they take the next leap. And my reasoning behind that is because they're going to ride Destiny 2 on the old gens as long as possible. And then when the markets get saturated with the new gen consoles, they'll drop whatever the next Destiny iteration is. That's just my thoughts. We are thrilled that Keith has accepted the role and honored to be working with him as we continue sharing the commander's story. All right, so the exotic mission rotator is coming. With season 22 right around the corner, we wanted to peel back the curtain on some new details about the exotic mission rotator. Let's start with the goals. All right, so the first goal is a home for seasonal exotic missions after the year has passed, and a place where over time we can bring fan-favorite exotic missions back from the past. He says a source of seasonal exotic mission weapons and their associated catalysts. So looking at you, Mr. Cool Juice, you should be able to get the Revision Zero. And then a new and consistent source of legendary seasonal rewards. Okay, a new and consistent source for, of legacy seasonal rewards. Oh, okay, so maybe like old seasons worth of, it'd be cool if they put like old red borders that people missed out on. To support these goals, and so that we can continue to add content into this rotator in the future, we needed to create rules and modify how these activities and the rewards would work. All right, so here go the rules and how the things work. Exotic weapons entering the playlist will become craftable. Awesome. So that means that Hawkmoon, we knew this though, will eventually become craftable. That's pretty awesome. That means, I'm thinking too, the writing on the wall on that means that any future exotics will be craftable by default, because if it's going to go into this playlist, then it should be. That's just me reading into things too far. Each mission features a normal and legendary difficulty. Pretty awesome. Each mission features a pool of legacy seasonal rewards. Okay, armor and craftable weapons. Oh, so there we go. That have a thematic overlap with the associated mission. Okay, so what that does is, what that puts me in the mind of is like Dares of Eternity, how they have their rotating loot pool, and maybe depending on what mission you run, they have like those associated red borders. So that'd be really good for people who just didn't play that season or didn't have an opportunity to just get all the red borders. That is going to be, like I said, more sources and more levels of availability is always awesome. Mission dialogue and narrative move forward after each activity completion and reset after all dialogue sets have been played. Okay, so just to keep like things in a bubble so people won't be confused or whatever, I guess. And then legacy triumphs cannot be progressed. That's understandable. Okay, so if you missed a triumph, you just can't get it done.
Let's do business.
Excuse me. It says below is a list of exotic missions and their associated rewards that are available starting in season 22. These missions will rotate weekly and continue throughout the Lightfall year and beyond. And there goes that and beyond again. They on some Buzz Lightyear today, boy. We will be adding exotic missions that launch during Lightfall seasons into rotation. Expect more additions to follow. Okay, so they got the Presage. The exotic weapon is going to be Dead Man's Tail, now craftable with a new trait pool. Oh, snap! I hope they got Cascade Point, man. I ain't even lying, bro. I want Cascade Point on one of them scout rifles so bad, yeah. Let's see, armor and weapons from Season of the Chosen is what they're going to have in there. And then the seasonal weapons are going to be Nezarac's Whisper, Bump in the Night, Tears of Contrition, Hollow Denial, Fire Fright, and Without Remorse. And then the opulent weapons are going to be Austringer, the Drang, Baroque, Beloved, Callous Minotaur, and the Eidolon Pursuit Armor set. Requires ownership of Beyond Light or Season of the Chosen. So that's pretty awesome. All of those weapons I just said will be in the Presage loot pool. Pretty cool. It's awesome that DMT is going to be craftable with different perks. That's what's up. Ooh, Vox Obscura. Ah, dang it, cool. I'm going to eat my words, bro. I said I was never running Vox Obscura again. Vox Obscura. Exotic weapon, the Dead Messenger. Now craftable with an additional trait. Armor and weapons from Season of the Risen. So that's what the weapons are going to drop. Season of the Risen weapons. The seasonal weapons are going to be Explosive Personality. No. I know, right? Lies. Yeah, I'm a liar, bro. I feel like Jim Carrey, man. God dang it. Recurrent Impact. Under Your Skin. Sweet Sorrow. Thoughtless. Peace of Mind. And the Tusk Allegiance armor set. And this requires the ownership of the Witch Queen or Season of the Risen. And then Operation Seraph Shield. Okay, so there you go. Cool. We can finally get your Revision 0 out the way. The exotic weapon is going to be Revision 0. Still craftable. Nothing new about it. armor and weapons from Season of the Seraph, and the seasonal weapons are going to be Fire and Forget, Tripwire Canary, Disparity, Path of Least Resistance, Judgment of Kelgaroth, and Retrofit Escapade. And every single Ikelos weapon will be available as well, from the hand cannon, the shotgun, the sniper rifle, and the SMG. Yo, you foolish, but you 100% right. Yo, if it's bugged that first week, you are just not meant to get that weapon ever, dog. Holy, I forget. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I hope it's not bugged either. On the real though, on the real. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna be laughing if it is, but I'll pray it's not. That'd be so bad karma, man. So yeah, the Ikelos weapons and the Warmind's Avatar set will be available as well. It requires the ownership of Witch Queen and the Season of Seraph. He said, "I'm gonna give up on it if it still is." Yeah, man, we're gonna have to figure out something if it still is, bro. That's crazy. Each exotic mission that enters the rotator will feature the same reward behavior. So that's pretty awesome. I love, and see, that's what I mean. I love that little quality of life, small little tweak right there. What that's going to do is for everyone that wasn't able to like this game like your boy and get all the red borders, shit, I still ain't even got all the red borders to be honest, but for everyone who doesn't, have time to actually obtain and go chase the red borders or just don't want to because they don't like the activity or for whatever reason, that rotating mission is going to have the opportunity to allow people to finish those borders if they either missed out or just didn't have time to finish the kit, which is an awesome quality of life change, right? Like that's a small little tweak, but that's great at the same time. So that gives people an incentive to actually get in there and get some stuff done. That's the little quality of life, small but outside of the box thinking stuff that is going to motivate people to actually play the game. I like that. They say weapon crafting rewards. First completion of the mission on normal or legendary difficulty will award the exotic deep sight weapon associated with the mission. Extracting or dismantling this deep sight weapon will grant the pattern. Each completion of the normal or legendary version of the exotic mission will award an intrinsic upgrade that can be used when crafting the exotic weapon. Okay. Each completion of the legendary version of the exotic mission will award a catalyst upgrade for the crafted weapon. Okay, so you have a deterministic path to your rewards, which is pretty awesome. Armor and the weapon rewards. The normal and legendary versions of the missions have separate weekly reward lockouts. Okay. Weekly mission rewards. One guaranteed deep sight weapon that has not had its pattern unlocked and one armor piece that has not already been obtained based on your current class. It says if all weapons and armor have been obtained for the in rotation mission, a random world drop will be awarded. So that even gives you an incentive. You just like the world loot pool and you're chasing something like harsh language or your Coronac, like I am, maybe that'll give me a reason to go on there and get a couple of missions done. On every completion, you receive an additional weapon from the mission's weapon loot pool. Okay, that's pretty cool. However, this weapon will have no knockout or guaranteed deep sight behavior. The weapon can roll with deep sight, but this will be on a random percentage chance. So if you just wanted to farm the living daylights out of it, you have an opportunity to. If you just wanted to test your RG, it's pretty awesome, man. Alongside the mission rewards, there's also a weekly challenge. All right. I'm interested to see what they're going to do because a lot of us now, especially if they're not increasing the power cap, one little negative nuance, I guess if you want to call it, is that now pinnacle rewards are pretty much useless for someone like us, right? We've been at max cap since like week 1 of Lightfall, so there's no real reason to chase pinnacles. That needs to be looked at in some shape, form, or fashion. I don't know what particularly can be done, and I would imagine that if we've noticed this, then they've noticed it too. But just might as well highlight the writing on the wall. Yeah, okay. Alongside the mission rewards, there's also a weekly challenge. This weekly challenge has the same armor and weapon pool as the exotic mission, which is in rotation. The challenge rewards will be output at pinnacle power and will prioritize the rewards of the following order. One guaranteed deep sight weapon that has not had its pattern unlocked. If the weapon patterns have all been unlocked, the challenge will award one armor piece that has not been obtained based on your current class. If all weapon patterns and armor have been obtained in the rotation, the challenge will output a random weapon or armor. Additionally, the exotic mission give bonus progress for the Xenology quest from Xur, 4 points for completing on normal and 7 for making it done on legendary. Dev Insights recap. With yesterday's Dev Insight article, we showed you our plans for some changes coming to Season 22. We want to make some exotics a good alternative in your arsenal and give you an easier option to counter barricades in PvP. I still think they swung the mallet when they needed a scalpel, but we'll see how that plays out. Also, we have some tweaks for Strand, so if you haven't read it yet, give it a go. All these changes are coming in Season 22, and you can find the whole Dev Insight article here. And it says age gating changes on all Bungie services starting August 15th, 2023. In order to be fully compliant with an evolving landscape of digital service legislation around the world, Bungie.net users will be prompted for their birth date and country of origin or residence with signing in or creating a new account. All active sessions will expire on this date, including our Destiny2 companion app, any third parties, or etc. You will need to sign in again and enter your birth date and country of origin or residence to use these services. For more information on how Bungie uses services and stores player data, please visit our privacy policy. PsyOps Battleground Moon Return. Are you ready for a challenge, Grandmaster? Oh, okay, I see. The PsyOps Battleground Moon. Okay, I thought it was the one they were talking about this week, but they're talking about the other ones coming back. It says, since Lightfall landed, we've implemented more and more Battlegrounds to the Grandmaster playlist, which I like, by the way. I think with these seasonal Battleground missions, if they can't give us strikes, you know, and high quality every season, you know, if it's strain on the team, slap those Battlegrounds in there, man. They're actually pretty fun, and they have like the density, you know, they actually have some, on some instances, more ad density than some actual strikes. So yeah, I mean, let's look at this one, right? This one was pretty much pain. This one was the new Light Blade. So yeah, I'm down with the difficulty. I actually like that. And going forward, if they keep that in mind, they'll only get better. So yeah, keep them coming. One Battleground in particular was very challenging, and it returned this week. Can you beat the PsyOps Battleground on the moon? You will have to bring your best build and gear to clear this one. So buckle up if you think you're ready for the challenge. Oh, I'm bringing Vesper Radius up in that one. It's enough ads too. August 22nd is just around the corner. Only 2 more weeks, 2 weeks until the Destiny 2023 Destiny 2 showcase. While you are learning about what we need to do to follow the witness into the portal, so pretty much confirm what we're doing, we are preparing for the last showcase in the Light and Darkness saga. So don't forget to put a mark on your calendar. I'm pretty sure we'll all be there. August 22nd at 9 a.m. PT. The pre-show's at 8. For our global players, there are several available challenges that there are several available channels that will be localized to watch the upcoming Destiny 2 reveal stream. The main Destiny 2 showcase will have localized subtitles available for the following language and channels. They will have it for the French, the German, the Italian, the Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, simplified Chinese, the Japanese, and the Korean. Good news for all PS Plus Extra and Premium subscribers. The Witch Queen will be joining the August 2023 PlayStation Plus catalog for 6 months, starting on August 15th. Everybody who has the PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium will have access to the Witch Queen the next time they log into Destiny 2 on PlayStation. So, even though it's not free to play, as long as you got PlayStation Plus, you got the Witch Queen. That's what's up. Have fun challenging Savathun and be aware of the Lucent Hive. And then they talk about player support, end of the season reminder, Season of the Deep ends on August 22nd, pretty much August 21st, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have downtime. Players should make sure to claim all engrams and other rewards before the new season begins. Any rewards not claimed from non-seasonal vendors will be removed at the beginning of next season. What do they mean by non-seasonal? Are they talking about like Gambit and Shax? Because I left some engrams on Saint and Salad Man. It says known issues. While we are continuing to investigate known issues, here is a list of the latest. They finally acknowledged the Judgment Handkin has lost his red dot sights. There's a couple of other things, but nothing super amazing. They got a couple of Artists of the Weeks. As usual, they look fire. And, yeah. final paragraph. I hope you will enjoy the challenge in this week's Grandmaster, and that we will see each other in the stream chat during the showcase on August 22nd. Have fun in the last 2 weeks of the season and get your titles done. I can't say that. I think that's Haltrum. I actually need to. I'm gonna type that into the Google probably later to figure out how to say that. It's "let's go" in German. If that sounds fire, I think I'm gonna be saying that more. Haltrim. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's what's up. Let's go. I never even thought about saying "let's go" in different languages, but that actually, the way that looked, the way it's spelled, seems fire. But yeah, that's the Twab for the week, or Twid. No new reveals or announcements on anything like artifact mods and perks. I'm kind of in the middle of the road. Deep down, I kind of hope they don't reveal nothing. I hope everything is just an explosion of information on the 22nd when we get back into the game. But we got one more TWAB left, and they may do some sort of like extra promotional thing. I know every time they get close to a new season, they'll either be very, very hush and say nothing, or they'll like ramp it up and they'll be like dropping info back to back to back. And so I don't know, it's a coin flip. Maybe Wednesday we'll get an extra little piece of info like we did with the dev insight, or maybe they'll keep everything close to the chest and it won't be until we get into the game. But yeah, all right, cool. So biggest announcement though, yeah, Commander Zavala's getting a new voice actor, man. He said, I took off for the reprise raid and didn't know it was, give me a second, let me because I gotta pull up the chat real quick. It goes by so fast that I barely even have time to read real quick on my end. Give me 1 second. That's what's up, chat. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm super hyped to get to build crafting next season. I wanted to do something this season, but life really just snatched me up and had me dealing with obligations and stuff. I'm glad I had an opportunity to though, for real, because you know, what do they say? When a door closes, another window opens. So, you know, but I do wanna get into build crafting a lot this season, for real. I got some pretty funky ideas I think you guys might like to experiment with and share with you guys. But even if I don't get to making the builds, man, just tune into the stream. I appreciate it, and I pretty much share those build crafting thoughts with you guys here. So, and if at any time, if you got any build ideas or want to see a build or want any help or ideas on the build, just ask me, man. I love chatting about this game and any type of build crafting and modular system at all, man. The more they introduce, the better. But Mr. Cool just said, I wonder what the raid is going to be. I took off for the reprise raid and didn't know it was that weekend. Hey, that's telling you, that's that karma. That's that perfect RNG. Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of doing it. LFG when it first comes out. I'm not even sure. I'm super hyped though. It's either out of one of three, bro. So we've heard all type of leaks this season. So that is the one good thing I will say about the leaks this season, is like they were all over the place. So I don't even know what to believe. Like, preferably, I would rather not be spoiled with any leak whatsoever. But if there is any other type of leak, I like the leak where it's just like so much contradicting information that you just don't even want to pay attention to anything, right? And so JFK time loss, yeah, they wild. But yeah, so at the beginning of the season, right, we heard that rumor about Scourge of the Past. That is one that I do not want to be true by any means necessary. I just don't. Out of all the raids to rerun, Scourge is not in my top frame for a multitude of reasons. Particularly because the loot pool isn't fantastic. I just don't resonate with that loot pool. So like if there's one rumor that's not true, I hope that's the one that's like not true. Then we have the option of Crota's Inn, which at first I thought that one wouldn't be the case, but the more and more they're building on this hive theme and approach, the more and more I'm of the frame of mind to where Destiny wants to tell the story of the hive, and to have the full complete picture of the hive, they want to have all of the family of the hive, right? And since Crota falls into that family, I can see them sprucing up Crota's Inn and slapping that raid in there, just so we have the full collective in Destiny 2 as a whole, right? Like when I'm talking about legacy collective, right? Like you got Vault of Glass, you have the origin story of Crota in, so we know the origin story of the hive. Then you got King's Fall, right? And now we got Ghost of the Deep. So like, and then Savathun, Zevo Wrath. So I can see them wanting to have the full picture in there. So if it's Crota's Inn, school in my book. Like I said, Necrochasm. I'm gonna be speed running trying to get that exotic, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have tunnel vision speed running. But yeah. So I can see them if they did Crota's End. There was the other rumor that they talked about that maybe they were gonna do like a big old season of opulence and drop all of the Leviathan raids back into the game. Which, if they did that, I mean, I would be super happy about that. I mean, I would just be satisfied with Leviathan. But if they drop every single raid that we've had, even though I don't like what is it? What is not Crown of Sorrows? What's the other one, man? What's the one that I can't stand? Cool Juice? Spire of Stars. Even if they drop Spire of Stars, I'd still be happy. I loved Eater of Worlds. OG Leviathan was pretty gas. So if they take that approach and they just drop all those raids at once, I'll just be happy because of the amount of content we're getting back. And the fact that with random rolls and everything, it'll be interesting to go chase those. And then last but not least, Wrath of the Machine is definitely a high A+ in my book, because Wrath was one of them raids where I think it kicked off an era where it's like the nice exhilaration, right? The pumping, just the nice adrenaline of what the raid was and stuff. That's really why I started falling into my love for LFG raiding a lot. And so it has a sweet spot in my mind. Plus, Wrath is just fun overall. And so I'll be happy with all those again. So, yeah, I'm very curious, man. I just, more than anything, I hope that whatever raid it is, it stays close to the chest until they're ready for that reveal. I just hope that I don't, even then I'm going to be putting my head into the ground these next couple of weeks because I don't want to be spoiled. Making it this close to the reveal and not getting spoiled is not only a blessing, but like I like to ride those type of waves. I would hate to get spoiled like right before the reveal, and then the reveal doesn't have that same sort of impact. Because I think that's something that we should take into account too, right? It's like like if you skip to the middle of a story and you read like 3 pages and then you go back to the beginning of a story and you start reading the page, well, you know kind of where you're going to end up at, even if you can't tell everything in between. The closer you get to that section that you skip to, you know what I'm saying, the more that impact won't last if it's a good surprise or payoff. And so, yeah, they do surprises and they do reveals and they do that well. So I'm hoping to be surprised and pleasantly surprised at that. He said, I hope it's not a D2 raid because I'll be salty. Which one would you not want to see the most then? Which one would be the one where it's like, man, if it's this, bro, I'm about to go play Call of Duty. Like when it's that, yeah, which one to hit you like that when it's that bad? Let's go ahead and prep up for Crucible real quick. Let's go run a couple Crucible games real quick. I guess we'll keep on Iceball Mentis, honestly, yeah. I did say I wanted to use Revision 0, so I guess we'll use that actually. Spire, okay, yeah, for sure. I don't think anybody would be happy at all of Spire. I think Spire and
But the Red Legion's not gone.
What was the one I just said? Scourge of the Past. I think Spire and Scourge of the Past are the 2 raids that no one wants to see return immediately. At least without being supplemented by something else. I don't think that'll go off well at all. Yeah, they could actually probably stay in the vault, and I don't think anybody would complain if they just brought the weapons back by themselves. Speaking of weapons, whatever season we're gonna get next, man. I'm curious if they're gonna hit us with a nostalgia treatment and do something like the Black Armory, or if they hit us with instead of the Black Armory, what's the other one, yeah? Oh, why am I brain farting today? Season of the Dawn, yo. It actually Black Armory, Season of the Dawn, or the Mercury's Pool. Even though Curse of Osiris was like universally the most trash peak of Destiny, the weapons. Hey, that was the first meeting of not meeting. All right, good luck in your meeting, fam. Even though I was gonna say the weapons at the Sundial was their first iteration at weapon crafting, yo. Now that you think about it, that's crazy. So it'd be nice to see those weapons come back full circle. But not gonna lie, Traveler's Judgment, if it does come back, I think that's gonna slap. But yeah, that brings me to my next tangent, which is I wonder what planet is gonna come back next, assuming that we're gonna get a planet. I mean, technically we didn't get a planet this season, right? Like we got the ability to go back to Titan, but it's not like we can go to the landing zone of Titan. So that's what I mean when I say planet. So which planet do you guys think we're gonna get back next? Do you think we're gonna get Io, or you think we're gonna get Mercury back? Whatever planet we get though, I do hope to see that between now and Final Shape. I just pray out of all the weapons we get back, I know everybody's happy about Kindle Orchid. I want to see Marty's Retribution come back, and I want to see it come back with auto-loading incandescent. You give me that, I won't ask for no other weapon. I'm lying. I won't ask for no other weapon the rest of the year, Bungie, man. Like, that's the one gun I want to see come back. Marty's Red with freaking auto-loading and incandescent, bro. What's funny is I don't use Forbearance, partially out of the fact that it is, like, as strong as it is. So it's like, I try to motivate myself to use other tools, right? Like, I know how strong Forbearance is, so it's like, if I'm struggling, of course, I'll slap it on if I need to, but I try my best to go out the way to use something else. That's not going to be the case with Marty's Red. If Marty's Retribution comes out, though, with auto-loading and incandescent, that's done. That's it. That's the only thing that's slapping in that energy slot right there. And the only reason I don't use Explosive Personality as much is because that it doesn't have that elemental verb oomph to it. But yeah, man, the sundial weapons, I really would love to see those come back, man. Steel Feather, Repeater, Perfect Paradox. Ooh. So if Mercury comes back, I'm hoping that it's a mix between the sundial weapons at Brother Vance and the the sundial weapons at Brother Vance, you know, from Curse of Osiris, or the sundial weapons from the actual Season of the Dawn when we rescued Saint. Either one of those would be right up my alley. There may be a Black Armory one, though, because Chris Proctor did mention both of those seasons by name. I think he said in an interview that if they ever were to if they were ever to bring those weapons back, it would have to fit thematically in a season. So I guess once we know what the theme is, we'll know if that's going to be the case as well. So, but that's what I would love to see personally, those two particular weapons. The reason I say I'm not too hyped about Kindled Orchid is not that I'm not too hyped about it, but we all know what role everybody's going to choose, right? So either they're going to have to really, really spruce it up, or, you know, everybody's going to choose Kill Clip Rampage. So, but that's why I say on the opposite end, I would rather have Marty's all day, every day. That's the vibe I want to be on, so. But all right, man. So yeah, good lookings. Looks like it's gonna be a light this week. I'm gonna go ahead and get on some grinding, and yeah, we'll think about some build crafting, guys.
Countdown.
Countdown. Show me your moves, Guardian.
On offense, set the charges, or destroy the enemy team.
All right, look like we going inside, baby. I really want to try Revision 0 because it's been a hot minute. He's low, but not low enough. Oh yeah, we got Icefall Method. What are we hiding from? Where did he go? Oh, he went on this side, didn't he? Came from the Oh, Blueberry's set, but I think he's actually about to... Oh, never mind. Okay, I was about to say, I think he's about to get clapped real quick. Toss up there just to stop. Put myself in a bad position just to plant that nade. Should keep him off for a second. Oh, I got one. Nice! That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, bet. So maybe that nade was the best play there, actually. See, sometimes you don't know until you know, you know? Dang. Sometimes you just don't know until you know. Oh, don't waste your res on me, man. I ain't worth it. you should have saved that res, bro. I don't think this is the best map for I just gave that man what he needed to. I'm gonna take this off in a second, just cause it's that one guy with risk running. He's over there, it's right there. Dang, I knew they was both gonna peek out at the same time. Let's put that on, I guess. Actually, I want a shotgun. It's been a hot minute since I pulled out the big old shotty, especially since they changed the pellets. I will say I really enjoyed the shotgun before they even made the changes, so I'm curious to see what's gonna. I don't think I'm gonna res either one of those.
1 minute left.
Got a minute to get in there.
Let's see it.
Maybe going as a group. Yeah, we keep pushing it solo. We won't be able to get through. Okay, yep. Anubis is up there. I guess I'll grab this res. I need to switch my keybinds here. Did you plant? Oh, I thought he planted.
30 seconds. This is it. Attack.
Go for it. Ah! Came from death from above. Dang, he got us both too. Good play on his behalf.
Seconds. Give up when you're dead.
Ah. Yeah, that was smart on his behalf right there. He played that super well. He pushed all the way in.
Enemy approaching. Defend the charges or defeat your opponents.
So what is everybody super hype about next season, man? As far as the changes go. Definitely can't wait to experiment with the Geo Mags. That's going to be one that I mess with for sure.
Enemy has set a charge. Make them regret that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do nothing at this angle with might as well just let them have it, to be real. And then hold up here. Oh, dang. All right, so they let that one off. They got 2 thunder crashes too.
Here they come. Defend the charges.
That's crazy. They nerfed the. I didn't expect them to nerf the super either, but understandable though. I do think that's just gonna make more people go on to Void Titans, but God dang, bro, he's soloing me with that right there. Yeah, Warlocks is legit. He ain't playing no games over there with that.
Enemy has set a charge. Make them regret that.
Oh dang! Well, we wasted that one. Yeah, that's his move right there. The nice little hot swap. Let me see if I want to switch to something else.
My ghost hates it, but I get exploded all the time. You will come back from this.
Oh, you be ice shacks. I didn't even pick up no. Oh, because I didn't have the capacity to. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, you got that, Chief?
Charge set. Now to battle.
Let's not overextend here. Let's try to watch the flank slightly.
Fire team that fights together stays together.
Good to go. Can lead this now. You might want to lead an area, brother.
Nothing else matters.
Ah, I messed that one up. Ah, I hate they nerfed the freaking shoulder charge, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he went on the other side of the He went on the other side of the thing. I can pop my super here actually, which I should. Okay, never mind. One blue pop his.
Your legend rose.
Dang! They gotta be teamed up because I think they both using the same. Oh no, they not. I might be able to pull off something here.
Double down.
There we go.
1 minute left. You're attacking. Let's see it.
All right, guys, plant that.
Charge is set. Protected.
It's kind of perfect, actually. He wasted that and didn't kill anything. It's actually perfect. They're coming on this flank here. Okay, we can watch it from this angle now, though, since we've got it covered. Should be 3, wasn't it? There we go. Tied it up, at least. It was a decent super play.
Can be so beautiful.
God, yeah, if they bring back Sweet Sorrow, though, not Sweet Sorrow, Crown of Sorrow, this will be the one weapon I go for, bro. As long as they got Zen Moment on it, well, really, as long as they drop another 360 with Zen Moment, I would be going for it. They got the Hollow, I think it's the Hollow, not the Hollow Denial. What's the one I'm thinking about? What's the auto rifle from the same season as Hollow Denial? False Promises.
They set a charge. Get out there and defuse it.
Yeah, show the charge nerf is atrocious. Not even gonna lie. I don't never spec in the strength either. Golly, yeah, that was a death sentence, bro. On radar, I was like, yeah, there's one guy over there. Come around the corner, it's like 4. Hey, nice tether, but as I say, I don't think we was gonna be able to stop that one there, Chief.
Hold the line. Defend those charges.
They're gonna have to come through with a, I think they're gonna bust the defenses with a super. Hey, you loving that GL? It's been a minute since I've seen somebody go filthy with a GL anyway.
That shut them down.
Aw, that radius! It's all good though. That's what I be meaning about swarm nades are so freaking good, bro. I think that's gonna be the next grenade to get nerfed, unfortunately. God bless the. What is this? What is this black magic? This voodoo.
They set a charge. Get out there and defuse it.
I don't think we can get in here. We can try. Dang. Oh, somebody would have got in there. He won't make it though. Yeah, that's a done deal. That's a done data, brother.
Enemy charge detonated.
All right.
Shame.
I guess we'll get one more game in and then we'll call it an early day.
The charges are everything. Set them and protect them.
Set them and protect them. Where we going? Going outside, I guess?
Charge set. Now to battle.
So if we win this one, bring it to 5.
That's why we have fire teams.
Dang. Okay, with the out of bounds, I might have to try mine out. Oh, old buddy put on Risk Runner too. He's like, I'm gonna fight fire. I'm gonna fight lightning with lightning. All right, let's go and get in here real quick. Yeah. All right. If I had a feeling if it was him, I was like, I'm gonna have to mind game dodge.
And protect them with your life.
And don't tell him how much actual special ammo he has either. Dang, sorry, buddy. I tried to save you, dog. Thank you, Blue. You saved my life, because I would have died if you had anything special.
Charge is set.
Okay, so I guess we are bringing it to another round. Go ahead and ice up right now. If I have another option. I'll get low. There we go. That's good enough. Somebody got the red somewhere. Yeah, that mantle got him killed.
2 for 1.
And we're good. Round 5. Oh God, what am I doing? It's like I was trying to die. I went straight into the, I was trying to go straight under the thingamajig when it was getting ready to nuke. Red Jacks, get me another bomb.
Defend those charges. The hour is yours.
Oh yeah, of course they're gonna go outside because they went outside these prior times and they've gotten better success.
Enemy charge is set.
Ah, dang.
Use it before it blows.
I'm blind. I should have seen, dude. His clan tag, I just noticed it, but you have heard of it. We'll go full sin here. Actually, if we can defuse it, we actually win this, bro. Hey, big dubs, though. Let's go. That actually worked in our favor. A little bit too late with that, chap. I mean, at least you ain't taking the orbit, right? Oh, that's why I love Countdown, man. The strategy. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, that was what's up. Oh, I should have gave him the best dress. I actually like that subtle red and blue, man. That's actually very nice. All right, let's get one more in real quick, and then yeah, we'll call it a day, guys. Pick up again. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow or not, because I don't know if I'll play trials, but if I do, we'll talk more about some build crafting stuff. It's more about the season coming up ahead, any just basic topics. Yeah, that's about it. I'll have to think. I guess I'll do some theory crafting the next couple days. Maybe we can test a couple of builds now before the changes hit. And then after the changes hit, we can maybe just go back and revisit them to see how viable they were, or how close we were for them being good. That's probably what we'll do. And that'll either be the next time I stream. It'll either be tomorrow or it will be Monday, I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I can't pick up any bounties because I'm maxed out on these. I guess I can get rid of these real quick. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter now. But yeah, definitely hype for the Icefall mental change. Gonna go through my vault, get a couple of stasis weapons, not to mention the stasis, any new stasis weapon we get. I mean, we know we're gonna have a stasis SMG, which is pretty cool. So that's gonna be something. No, I kind of want to snipe, but then again, Because it is countdown. No, we're gonna use Navigator actually. I'm probably gonna be trash because it's been so long since I used the hand cannon, but what is this, bro? What are you throwing me into? He's like, I need you to save him. Oh, same map though. What are we doing? Oh, we defending. Okay, we defending this one. Glad I didn't repeat because I almost did. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna be either one of these weapons gonna be good on this map. It's so long.
Get out there and defuse it.
Man, I love these swarm nades, bro. I love the swarm nades. They're just so good and versatile. It's a shame too, because like I said, they probably will be the next ones to get nerfed just because they're so good. But the only reason they're so good is because everything else they gave the competition has gotten nerfed. And I think just everyone hasn't really been playing solo like that to really lean into it. But it's just so good for reses. You can throw it on the res. You can throw it on the corner. You seen how it just snagged that kill while he was behind a barricade, right? Like, and they got the quickest cooldown too. So we gonna keep that a little bit low, chat. We ain't gonna talk about that. Woo! Okay, so you using Navi too, huh? Hey, you use Worm Husk. What is he doing? Copycat? Is that an Igneous too?
I envy your strength, Titan.
Chip him before he goes in there. Oh my lord. Oh, they got that. You're on offense.
Or eliminate all opponents.
I don't think we're gonna be able to, bruh. Dang. Yeah, he's using it too. That's what's up. The irony of that, right? Oh, you got clapped up here. I better wait. He's gonna peek. Okay. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. Mm-hmm.
1 minute. You're on
I don't think we're gonna get in there like that. Well, that forced two of them out, and they got the charge set, so that's what's up. Come on, get up, soldier. We need you. Oh, dang. That's fine, but you should have did it right on the point. Pretty even.
You have a future in demolition, Guardian.
I'll talk to Zavala. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not crazy, but that's what's up. I was really curious what they were gonna do with the character of Zavala,
or fight to the bitter end.
but it's nice to know that whatever their plans are, they're gonna see it through. And I know Lance would be proud to see the legacy of Zavala going on. Dang, I should have had that one earlier. Oh, that's crazy. That's even crazy.
Enemy has set a charge. Defuse it.
Now we gotta get in there. I didn't expect him to slide back out. Dang. I seen that fade into a Jotun, bro. He did the neck turn and straight got ate a hot pocket.
Hold the line. Defend those charges.
Dang, I missed that one too. There's rumors that freaking XDefiant is gonna be coming out really soon too, and I can't wait if that's the case. There we go. I didn't get to play it during the betas, but it definitely looks like something that'll pique my interest when it comes to multiplayer.
Make them regret that.
There's something extra to sink my time into. What? I don't even know what that was. It looks like he maybe deflected something with Antaeus wards and I got frozen. Yeah, it'd be nice to have another just FPS game that I resonate with, hopefully. It's just none of them I really resonate with other than ever since Battlefield 1, man. Like Call of Duty just didn't do it for me these past couple years. It felt too, I love the graphics, but the realism felt too slow. Battlefield, yeah, ever since 1, it just didn't do it, man. 5 wasn't that good for me, and neither was 2042. I didn't like the art direction of 2042. It didn't feel immersive. It felt boxy. Honestly, Battlefield 3 looks better than 2042 in my opinion, but this is just my opinion. And then, yeah, Apex Legends is hit and miss. I like it, but then I can't play it for long periods of time. I lose interest way too quick. But I think it's because I don't have like a designated Apex team. But then again, Battle Royales, if it's not destructible, they just don't resonate with me as well. And I really wish I would have had time to play the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale when it was live. I really like the idea that it had a destructible environment, so that made it for dynamic plays when it comes to the in-game circle and whatnot, right? Like, especially not only from a player's perspective, but from a viewer's perspective as well. Like, the circle wouldn't play out the same every single time, and so I'm hoping. I got high hopes for XDefiant and there you go. Actually, no, sorry, bro. I better wait.
Set the charges and protect them with your life.
Going here with the flaming jutsu, I guess. Let's wait before I get my shoulder charge so I can go in there. There we go, arc, so I'm glad I waited.
Two for one. Triple down. Double down.
Ah, if I'd have did the hammer fist instead of the spin, yo, that's what I should have did. At first when I got that triple down was sexy though, I ain't even gonna lie. I said, ooh, in my mind when I said when I heard him say triple down.
Charge set. Now to back.
Okay, that makes sense. I was so confused because all I seen was red bright heat. Nice spin, bro. Oh dang, he didn't get the kill though. GG's.
Not enough. Your charge has been defused. the line. Defend those charges.
Where we gonna go? I guess we'll go up top. Ooh, they all came in. Oh man, I didn't even know he was right there on my feet. I wonder why they didn't set inside. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't set inside.
Enemy charge set. Defuse it now.
Ah, dang it. I was trying to evade him so I could figure out the best approach to get close to him. Awesome. GG's. Set up here. We got a Chaos Reach and an Ice Storm. Well, they had a Chaos Reach, now they just got an Ice Storm.
Enemy charge is set. Defuse it before it flows.
That's actually so smart using that ice barricade. That was actually so smart using that as a as an obstruction. I almost shot that down, but that was really ingenious. Oh, buddy threw that glacier nade down, and he straight up crouched. Ah, that was so smart. You're gonna have to keep that one in mind. All right, what's the play, boys? What's everybody doing? All right, I'm gonna go over here with the right. Because even since everybody went in, I can distract there. So it's just two here. Dang, well, everybody died inside there. God dang. Yeah, everybody died in there. I don't know what happened, but all I seen was revive tokens. It's like, yeah, I guess we should have came this way. I'd be more confident in popping if I had my super, but I ain't got my super. Dang, if only we'd have let him fully pop that out there. Ah, could not pop it off. Okay, here comes the storm. It's down to the wire here. Well, we gonna be able to hold it off, or we gonna lose it? Look like we gonna lose it. Oh, there it goes. That's it. That's game now. What's up? Oh, buddy saved his super for the right time. GG's. Pretty good teammates on both those games. Oh, that was what's up. Both them games came straight down to the wire. It's crazy. I had them both on the same map too. Huh? I think that guy was with us too, Chris. He was in both games. He was rocking Titans, bro. Yo, shout outs to you. You are a brave soldier, bro. As nerfed as them is. That's what's up. All right, man. Shoot. We had a pretty fun, good, all right day. Like I said, we will pick up again definitely before, well, I say definitely, but, you know, asterisks beside that. But, okay, so the plan is to pick up again before at least the reset. So either Friday or Monday, I'll definitely kick up another stream. I might stream tomorrow. I don't know. Depends on a lot of varying factors, but yeah. Either way it goes, man. I hope everybody enjoys their day. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and hope you guys enjoy each other. We're gonna leave today. We're gonna leave today with the wow or word of wisdom, and it is gonna be Arthur C. Clarke. Simple quote, but one that I like pretty much, like a lot. Magic is just science that we don't understand yet. Arthur C. Clarke. Pretty good paraphrase quote based off of technology. But yeah, man. I hope everybody enjoy yourself, and be kind to one another, and shoot, I guess I'll see y'all in the future. But without any further ado, that's all for me. If you like what you see, triple tap that like button for me. And if you enjoy the vibe, subscribe. It has been me in the present, talking to you from the past. I hope to catch you guardians in the future. Adios. I'm Ghost.